Referee today is Jason Swift. Gloucestershire being headed to the field by James Bracey.
And the dulcet tones of Terry Blake welcome you to Cheltenham. Morning on the start of the Metro Bank One Day Cup. The last week of the festival has two games in it. The game today and also the game on Friday against Northants. New competition, 50 overs of course. And Gloucestershire start here as they did last year when they played Warwickshire here, and Derbyshire today are our visitors. Derbyshire haven't been here since 1997 in a list A game. And today they are batting first because Gloucestershire won the toss and elected to field. I'll give you the two sides. The Gloucestershire side, Chris Dent, Ben Charlesworth, Ollie Price, Harry Tector, signed yesterday just for this match. James Bracey, Jack Taylor, Zafar Kahar, Josh Shaw, Zaman Akhtar, Ajit Singh Dale and Paul Van Meekeren. The Derbyshire openers are Harry Kame, C-A-M-E, as opposed to Harry Kane, K-A-N-E, and Lewis Rees. Kane will face the first ball. Dan Whiting will take you through it, and Ajit Singh Dale is going to open from the College Lawn end.
Yep, here he comes. Ooh, that's appeal for LBW. I think it's a little bit high there. It's a cracking start there from Ajit Singh Dale. Let's have a look at this. Ooh,
just outside.
Back leg.
Just outside.
Yeah, maybe. I tell you what, I do like both these kits on offer, Ian. I'm a big fan. Derbyshire's very nice, very pleasant. Gloucestershire's, I mean, it's good enough to wear on a Friday night out on the Gloucester Road, isn't it? Available in the club shop, I believe. Here's Ajit. That's driven nicely. Can only find Chris Dent at mid-off. Throws it into James Bracey.
So the full Derbyshire side, Harry Kame and Lewis Rees opening, and then we think Brooke Guest at 3, the captain. David Lloyd, obviously coming from Glamorgan next season, but on loan for this competition this time. Haider Ali, Tom Wood, that's the top 6.
Oh, that's well bowled from Ajit Singh Dale. Let's have another look at this one. Does that beat him on the inside? Bracey looks like he's gone down the leg side there. I think that might have nipped back. Yeah.
Pitch being used for this match is right across on the Sanford Road side of the square, so the shorter of the two leg side boundaries to the right-hander is for the bowler from the College Lawn end, so Ajit Singh Dale in this case.
Ajit again appeals for LBW, but that's hit the side pad. Ben Charlesworth's the man that slipped next to James Bracey. Looks like Harry Tector there, sort of in the gully backward point. Ollie Price is at cover, Chris Dent mid-off, and then Jack Taylor at mid-on. Can't quite see that as a mid-wicket. Got to get down the Specsavers, Ian. Zafar at square leg, who is beardless. Ajit. Kane defends. That's a good start, this.
Someone at mid-wicket. Of course, 50 overs feels such a long game, doesn't it, compared to the cut and thrust of T20 that we're used to.
And then we've got Josh Shaw down at fine leg, and
Tector without a
Paul Van Meekeren down at third man.
Tector doesn't have a number.
Yeah. Great signing, by the way. I'm really impressed with that one. That's nicely played. They're going to get a single, and Derbyshire are underway. So great start here. Just one off the over. Remember, in this Metro Bank 50 over competition, there's a power play of 10 overs. So you've got to have your only 2 fielders outside the ring in the first 10 overs of the game.
Yeah, I mean,
and those first 10 overs, I think, are going to be crucial, Ian.
Well, obviously it's called a power play, but in a sense you've got 3 phases, haven't you? You've got 2 outside in the first 10 ring in the first 10 overs, 4 outside the ring overs 10 to 40, and 5 out in the last 10.
Yeah.
So Ollie Price coming into second slip for Josh Shaw, who's going to open from the chapel end.
I do like the Derbyshire kit as well. James Healy said it's like when you put your jeans in with your cricket whites. They go like an off-white, a bluey white.
Shaw to Kame. That's quite full, clipped away past Ajit Singhdale. That might run all the way for 4, and it will, to deep backward square. Even though that's the longer of the square boundaries, Kame flicked that away. Ajit was up inside the circle when it got past him. It's despite the drizzle we had in and around Cheltenham yesterday, that's still run away quite easily for 4. Quite a good crowd in already. Sanford Road stand pretty well populated. And Shaw again to Kane, who punches that off the front foot out to Jack Taylor at mid-on. Top run scorer in the competition for Gloucestershire last year, and very good record in this format of the game in particular.
Yeah, I thought he led the side very well last year. Jack Taylor with bat, with ball, and just in an attacking way, and I thought they were a little bit unlucky not to qualify for the later stage of the tournament.
Shaw over the wicket to Kame. Oh, flash at that. Charlesworth and Ollie Price in the slips. Yeah, just held its line. We've spoken about this during the championship matches. This pitch in particular is on the most extreme side of the slope across the ground. Therefore, the natural movement of the ball would be to hold its lawn and maybe just drift a little bit away. And Kame goes in the air using his feet to Shaw, and that's gone all the way down to the boundary wide of Zafar Kahar at third man for 4.
Wow, that was just a thick outside edge that flew away. This outfield's lightning quick, and a short boundary down there. Kame, 24-year-old from Basingstoke.
Averaging 45 in the championship. He's come off a couple of... He got 100 in the second innings of Derbyshire's last championship game, and been in good touch recently. Waits again for Shaw. Again, that's punched up to Jack Taylor at mid-on. Yeah,
these two put on, was it 300 they put on in the game against Glamorgan?
Yeah, that must have been a fairly flat pitch, that.
Well, David Lloyd watched it so much that he actually went and joined Derbyshire on loan.
Our friends at BBC Wales who cover Glamorgan were quite surprised that they'd let Lloyd go for this tournament. Kame's faced every ball so far this morning, and that's gone down the leg side and will be signalled a wide by Rob Bailey.
I was quite surprised by it as well, because I believe that Lloyd is going to Derbyshire for this tournament. We all know David Lloyd's going to sign for Derbyshire next season. That was documented 3 weeks ago or whatever. But he's gone on loan to Derbyshire for this competition. He goes back to Glamorgan
for the conclusion of the
championship before joining Derbyshire next year.
And the same with Rob Jones, who's gone from Lancashire to Worcestershire on loan ahead of his move to Worcestershire next year.
Yeah, I think the loan system really needs looking at in this country.
Short, past umpire Bailey, and Kane plays that one on the leg side this time. Straight to Dent though.
It really needs looking at, because we've got a situation where Dominic Bess played for 3 different clubs in 3 weeks, didn't he? He played for Yorkshire,
parent club.
He went to Warwickshire for 1 game,
and Somerset,
and then Somerset. And then you had 2 people in that game for Somerset who had also So you had Bess, who played for 3 clubs. You also had Jack Brooks, who had played for 3 clubs this season. He played for Worcestershire in the county championship, and then he went to Nottinghamshire in T20. And I think if you're going to go on loan, you've got to go on loan for a month minimum, or there shouldn't be a loan system available after 30th of June perhaps, or something like that. But it's making a farce of the county championship, possibly even this competition. I mean, it's early days yet, so let's see. But let us know what you think at home. Commentators at Gloss CCC. We'll put the email address up there. Here's Ajit Singh Dale. Lewis Rees faces his first ball. Yep, there's our email address. Drop us a line. Let us know what you think of the loan system and whether you think it's, sort of, it needs looking at, whether it's right, or just let us know how you feel.
Do you not find it odd, too, that Gloucestershire have signed a player for 1 day, effectively?
Yeah, I'd like to see him sign for longer. Yep. I think he's a quality player. Here's Ajit Singh now. Harry Tech today's making his debut today, and he's number 6 in the world ranked in one-day internationals.
Potentially his first and last game for Gloucestershire.
Well, hopefully he can stay longer. I mean, he's absolute, top draw. So, welcome to everyone from Derbyshire, by the way. Hope you're well and hope you're enjoying life. If you haven't made the journey down to Bristol, there's a few of you who have come down. Or, sorry, even Cheltenham. We're not in Bristol, are we? Reece drives that.
Not if my journey to work this morning was to the right place, no.
No. I went up the M40, not the M4. It's been a long festival, Ian. It's been a long, long festival. You have to bear with us at home. We're living on fumes here. There's only fumes left in the tank.
They've got a inspection at Old Trafford at 12 o'clock. I haven't started on time there. But they've started at Chesterley Street, at Scarborough, and as well as here.
That's well fielded! Oh! That's brilliant from Ajit Singh Dale. Nearly runs out Lewis Rees here. And the difference is he's out of his ground here, as opposed to what we saw the other day with Pennington, who threw the ball at Jack Taylor. Jack Taylor wasn't attempting a run, hence why there were 5 penalty runs awarded. Here we had Lewis Rees out of his ground, moving down the wicket. So Ajit Singh Dale is well within his rights to have a shy at the stumps there.
Apart from anything else, it was a good start.
It was a brilliant bit of fielding. That's just run off the face there by Lewis Rees as Josh Shaw holds it in down on the boundary there.
We had a debate this morning ahead of play starting, but after the toss, to talk about kind of what sort of target Gloucestershire would feel they were happy chasing. And just to give you a guide, last year Gloucestershire against Warwickshire in this format, Gloucestershire batted first and got 264, and Warwickshire won it with 10 overs to spare.
That's gone in the air. That's going to be 6 runs. First maximum of the day. Harry Kane just flicks it off his legs. Lovely timing. And I think with that boundary in, 260 will be light. I think we're looking 320 to 350 here.
Yeah, and yet I think history tells you that sides don't get that many. They kind of get a bit excited. They are thinking you should, and they end up not getting as many as you might.
Well, I think it's time to debunk history.
will be my guess. I think that the feeling was that if you could keep Derbyshire under 300,
yeah, then
you'd feel you were well in the game. But even like 330, be a lot of runs on this ground. Short into the left-handed reach, taken low down by James Bracey. But in the days of Michael Klinger spearheading chases here, it was always one to not be afraid to start slowly and gradually pick things up. Will the Derbyshire have that view here? I don't know. We'll soon see. Nice shot from Reese. That will beat the two fielders on the cover boundary, and that will run all the way 4-4 up towards the members' stand. That's the longer of the square boundaries. Didn't think he really timed that.
No, he didn't, and that's why. That's what makes me think that there's going to be a big scoring game here today, because Reese, he clossed it a little bit, didn't he?
I think both sides will feel, or I would say Derbyshire's batting is their stronger suit of the two.
Yeah,
Gloucestershire might say it's a bit more balanced. Short, again to Reese, and you takes half a stride forward, clips it straight to Zaman Akhtar at mid-wicket.
I'm looking forward to seeing Sam Connors.
I don't think I've not, well.
Oh, he's quick. He's genuinely quick.
Gloucestershire obviously
did a lot of work with Steve Kirby.
Yeah.
Before Mickey Arthur arrived, there was Davey Houghton at Derbyshire and Steve Kirby. And
Gloucestershire, of course, haven't played Derbyshire in the Championship at Bristol yet. That's the last home game.
Yeah.
And they haven't played Derbyshire very much in white ball cricket either. They haven't played them in this format since the run to Lords in 2015, when there was a very odd game at Bristol. It was an odd finish to the game at Bristol, which Gloucestershire won. Short in, Reese again in the V, up to Dent at mid-on.
What happened at Bristol, eh?
So Gloucestershire had to get, I think it was 69 off the last 4 overs to win. Chesney Hughes bowled an over that cost 21. And they got down to the last ball when Derbyshire had 6 men, I think, on the leg side, which was illegal. So it was called as a no ball. Here's Shaw into Reese, hits that into the ground, fielded by Ollie Price. That's short extra. Called as a no ball. They also ran 1, so they ended up needing 3 off the last ball, and Benny Howell hit it for 4.
Wow.
So talk about a get out of jail card at that point. I mean, you wouldn't really, even in a T20, you would not expect to concede 69 runs in the last 4 overs.
No. Chesney Hughes, the one and only.
Thank you. Shaw in, and Reese lets that go. It was a wide anyway, didn't need to play it. So 21 without loss, ticks up. Still in the 4th over. Derbyshire have gone in today with 2 spinners, Alex Thompson and Mark Watt. So that's a slow left armer and an off-break bowler. Gloucestershire have only gone in with 1. Shaw into Reese again into the ground. Ollie Price again with the stop at extra cover. So 22 without loss off 4 overs. No early breakthrough for Gloucestershire here. The ground will be well populated today. Talk of a crowd, depending on those who decide on the day they're going to come, and might be up towards somewhere between 2,500 and 3,000, which know on a weekday. I'm in school holidays now. I get that, but on a weekday, just proves there is an appeal for 50 over cricket. It's still a full day. You still see the result. You see both teams bat. All that type of stuff for the more casual cricket watcher.
Yeah, no, I think it's already building up. He's Ajit. It's pulled. A little bit of a misfield down there by Zafar, but they only take 1. Yeah, Sanford Road stand looks like it's building up. There's already, the marquees are well populated. I can't see the members stand out to our left, but that's always fairly busy. And I think a lot of people as well, on these days tend to work half days as well, and will pop in here at 12:30 or so. Oh, That's just past the outstretched glove.
We could
of
hear
James
we could hear
Bracey.
the nick. You may be able to hear it at home.
Yeah. It's quite a big one here, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's actually played it with soft hands, so it's gone downwards. But he's going to get 4 runs, Lewis Rees. Good cricketer, Lewis Rees. Came from Lancashire. Been known to open the batting and the bowling.
You got 200s in this tournament last year. It was by some distance Derbyshire's top run scorer.
Yeah. Average 47. Only came second in the averages behind Shan Masood, who's now departed to Yorkshire. But owning the batting and owning the bowling, it's like the skipper's mate in club cricket.
Yeah, there's a few of those in club cricket, aren't there?
A few skippers in club cricket who do that.
Samanak has been moved out to deep mid-wicket on the boundary.
Good bumper from Ajit. Rees thinks about ramping it, actually.
So, when the John Player League started, Dan and I are both old enough to remember that.
Yeah.
You could almost predict the way the pattern would go. The 2 opening bowlers would bowl 4 overs each. 2 bowlers would bowl 8 in the middle part of the innings, and 1 bowler would bowl 8 straight through at the end, with the opening bowlers coming back to bowl 2 4s. It was like that for several years, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But now in this competition, the 50 overs, you might start with 2 5s, but after that it's a bit harder to predict. These 2 might start with 2 5s.
Rees drives up to mid-off. Jack Taylor doing the fielding there.
You know, Gloucestershire haven't picked Tom Smith today.
No, interesting.
Which I was a little bit surprised about, because normally in this tournament, I mean, Smith played in all the games last year, and particularly at Cheltenham, he's done well in the past.
Yeah.
Perhaps they think the pitch isn't suitable for more than one spinner. Just Zafar in the team.
And Jack Taylor?
Yeah, possibly.
Rees defends. Can only find Charlesworth at mid-wicket. That completes the 5th over. Derbyshire 27 for none. Harry Kames on 16. Lewis Rees is on 9. Ajit none for 13 off his 3. Josh Shaw none for 14 off 2.
No, normally, I can let you into a little secret here.
Oh,
in T20,
you've got people listening in.
Yeah. In T20 cricket, Dan writes down the score after every over, so we know exactly where we are in the comparison. But in 50 over cricket, you tend to go in 5 over blocks, don't you?
I go in 10s.
Do you?
I do, yeah.
Oh, no, I think you can afford to go in 5s, particularly later on. Anyway, we've only had 5 at the moment, and here is Josh Shaw on his way from the chapel end in once again to Kame, who steered that wide of Van Meekeren, and that's going to go all the way to the boundary again at wide long leg. It's the longer boundary on this side of the ground. We're on the members' side, on the Thurleston Road side, and coming up the slope, so to speak. That was just a little clip by Harry Kame. So
good to see pinstripes back on a kit, on the Gloucestershire kit.
Kame again, clips that straight to Charlesworth at mid-wicket.
Early 80s football kits were awash with pinstripes, weren't they, Ian?
So will it be Harry's game for Harry Kame?
Oh, like it.
Gone early there.
Like it.
Sorry.
We're not going to use Harry Kame and Went like every other commentator on the circuit.
Oh, right. Is that a
that's the standard one, isn't it, when he's out?
He's got 20 already. Shorter bowl to him. Again, that's down the leg side. He's inside the line, and Rob Bailey says that's okay. Not going to call him on that. There are, of course, the little blue lines you can see inside the crease for the judgment of where a ball is okay and where it is a wide.
Yeah, with wides, the batsman moves inside the ball now. He's adjudged to be manufacturing the wide.
Short from short. Kane will pull that. Van Meekeren can't quite reach it on the stretch. Diving again in that same position, sort of deep backward square, wide long leg. Van Meekeren probably two strides short of stopping it. 4 more. And if James Bracey's half thinking about moving somebody now, is Van Meekeren going to leave a space at deep square on the fence and go a bit finer? Only marginally. Just gone to the side of the umpire behind square. Kane once more goes aerial. That's straight down the ground. That'll be 4 more. Dent is up at mid-on, and Kane looking to put bat to ball with some force here and get Derbyshire off and running.
Yeah, Paul Van Meekeren's had a very good Cheltenham, took 9 wickets in the game against Worcestershire, and 3. He's taken 12 wickets here, isn't he, in the 2 games? So he's had a very good Cheltenham. And he's bowled with, I wonder, he hit David Lloyd on the head in the Glamorgan game here.
Nice shot from Kane up to mid-off.
Lloyd's
fielded by Jack Taylor. End of an expensive over from Josh Shaw.
Lloyd's helmet
12 runs
disintegrated
from it. So he's bowled 3 overs for 26, and Ajit Singh Dale 3 overs for 13.
Yeah, Lloyd's helmet disintegrated in that game against Glamorgan. About 5 pieces came off it, didn't it? So be interesting to see the battle there.
Lloyd might feel that, having batted at Cheltenham already in this festival, he might be pretty well placed to know about the geography of the ground, pace of the wicket, all that useful information. Whether he can put that into a score today, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, he's had a good net. Lewis Reese just whips that one leg side. Ben Charlesworth doing the fielding.
James Bracey has already got a field with, where are the men back here? He's got,
I reckon a 3:30 might be a bit light, Ian.
no, I don't necessarily think so.
Reese just defends that.
The game
Harry Tector.
The game really starts after the power play, doesn't it? After the first 10 overs.
Yeah,
I think.
I'd say so.
You might, in T20 terms, to say, well, you don't lose 2 wickets in the 3 wickets in the power play and win. Here, I think when the pace starts to go off the ball, then you try and work out what the score might be. But Gloucestershire have gone with 4 quicker bowlers today, so it may not.
That's gone up in the air. Oh, it's just going to drop short of Paul Van Meekeren. Reese didn't get a hold of that one at all. Went a long way up in the air, but that's the longest boundary on the ground, which Van Meekeren's patrolling out there and had to run in a long way, and the ball ends up short of him. Derbyshire got 4 trophies, or 5 I suppose, in the won Division 2 as well, but they won the county championship just once back in 1936. They won the Sunday League, or what was the John Player League, I think. Might even still be in the John Player League back then. Slower ball from Ajit, just worked round the corner from Harry Kane. They won the first Nat West Trophy in 1981. It was called the Gillette Cup. Up until then, had a good side then. I think John Wright was in that side. Peter Kirsten might have been in that side. Jeff Miller.
And that was kind of one of the really early cliffhanger finishes that game.
It was. It went right to the last ball, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a tie, if you remember.
Yeah.
And Derbyshire won because they lost fewer wickets.
It's bouncer there. Yeah, they played Northamptonshire. I mean, it's great to see those two counties getting to a final. I think Mike Hendrick was in that side. Bob Taylor might have been in that side.
And see, in T20 terms, they've only been to finals day once, and that was when they beat Gloucestershire in the quarters, 2019. That's their only appearance in the T20 semis.
They won the Benson Hedges Cup back in 1993, which I think was a 55 over. That's cut away over the top of Harry Tector. And good start this by the visitors. 45 for none of 7. Derbyshire's highest run scorer's got Gloucestershire links as well. Kim Barnett
had a good spell at Gloucestershire. Always thought to be a great assessor of a pitch in terms of what a good score would be. And what were we saying about 2 5s at the start? James Bracey's decided that 3 overs for 26 for Josh Shaw and an expensive one against Harry Kane means a change.
Yeah, you can see Paul Van Meekeren into the attack.
From the Chapel end, as Dan said, in the Championship, in terms of the bowlers, I mean, and with all deference to Chris Dent here, Van Meekeren is top of the bowling averages. If you exclude Chris's 1 for 11 in 6 overs and 3 balls, Van Meekeren in, and that's steered away by Kame straight to Tector. They don't want to take a run to him. He's taken 12 overs at 21 in the Championship. Now, last year, in this competition, Van Meekeren was quite expensive. Did take 13 wickets in the tournament, but he was going at nearly 7 and over. And you wouldn't want to go at 7 and over on this ground. High stepping run of Van Meekeren, very upright approach. Kane clips that straight to Zafar, tumbling stop at point. It's a slap from Harry Tector. You wonder whether the Will Porterfield link got Tector in.
Yeah, definitely.
Gloucestershire's batting coach.
Definitely. I mean, you know, you see this with. Yeah,
it's not what you know, it's who you know, Dan, isn't it?
Well, without a doubt. That's how I got the commentary gig through you, Ian. Through my mate Randall.
Van Meekeren in, pulled by Kame into the ground, straight to Zaman Akhtar at deep square. So the 2 men out at the moment for Van Meekeren. Akhtar was one of them, but he's now going inside the circle. And Van Meekeren will see Ajit Singh Dale drop out to 3rd man, and there's a deep backward square on that short boundary on the leg side. So left-handed Reece waits. Oh, and he's tried to hit that over the chapel nearly.
Try to hit that over the Cotswolds here.
Didn't get anything on it. I did get up a lot, to be fair.
No, it didn't.
Ajit's banged 1 or 2 in from the College lawn end, very short, that have got up. I wonder if Van Meekeren has seen that. Now, normally he would be back of a length would be more of the length that he would be comfortable bowling, as that is, and it's pulled away by Reece down to Zafar at deep square for a single. Derbyshire ticking along nicely here, having been put into bat. Came 30 off 24. Reece 15. He's had almost as much of the strike. But Kim's hit 5 4s and a 6 already. Van Meekeren in turn. That's pulled again to Zaman Akhtar on the boundary in front of the member stand. Good return. And just down to 1. So Van Meekeren's first over applied the brake a little bit.
Yeah.
Only 4 off it. Only 3 off it, in fact.
What Paul's good at is he does vary it. He bowls the Yorker, he bowls the bouncer, he bowls the slower ball. He's got, different variations up his sleeve. Listening to me, Dan Whiting, I'm with Ian Randall. Here, live on the Gloucestershire TV stream. James Healy is bringing you the pictures at home. We've got our work experience lad, Dumbleton Dan's in for the day. And we've got Harry Clements in here in the marquee with us, the team analyst. There's Ajit Singh Dale. That's quick. Kane just rides the bounce and rolls his wrists over it, and it goes down to long leg. And finally, we've got Terry, the voice, Blake, our matchday announcer, in with us here in the marquee.
Just to clarify that in terms of this competition, of course, that some players are away with the other competition that's running alongside it. Gloucestershire only lose 2 players, Miles Hammond and David Payne. Derbyshire lose 4, including Laius Deploy and Wayne Madsen, who surely would have been in their batting order today, along with Zach Chappell, of course, had a spell here last year, and George Scrimshaw.
There's no run-offs that. Scrimshaw's got one of the finest moustaches in the game, hasn't he? He's, put him and Ben Green of Somerset together, and they will look like the airmen from a lower low.
Well, Marchand Delange's tash is fairly quality too, isn't it?
Marchand's up there, yeah. He's more of a sort of a bristly one, like a Tom Selleck from Magnum, isn't he?
I thought that was something you bought on a stick that you kept in the freezer.
That's gone up in the air. That's going to go away. Beats Van Meekeren on the inside there. He's quite square down there at fine leg. He's got a big area to cover. And that crashes into the boards in front of the chapel here at Cheltenham. Derbyshire used to have some good moustaches back in the day, didn't they? Jeff Miller had a good moustache. Mike Hendrick, God bless him.
Phil Russell?
Yeah, Phil Russell.
I think Philip Russell probably.
Tony Borrington, he had a good moustache.
Something like that, yeah.
Did Colin Tunnicliffe ever have a moustache?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No, I think he was moustacheless. Slower ball. Ajit Singh Dale rolls his fingers over that. They're going to think about a second, but Zaman Akhtar's quick, keeps them down. Kim Barnett had a moustache.
Yeah.
Bit of a miserable effort actually from Kim Barnett. It wasn't a strong moustache, was it? Like,
no. I think Barnett had more hair on his top lip than he had on his head, didn't he?
I think so. Yeah. Yes, I think so.
This is a brisk start, though, isn't it?
Yeah, these two look good.
Fielded.
Well fielded off his own bowling there by Ajit.
He's a bit in a hurry to get up there. I think he might have thought about a repeat of the throw at the stumps from earlier on.
Yeah. Harry Kane's on 32 of just 27 balls. Louis Rees,
I mean,
20 of 26.
My memory of last season's competition is that there were a lot of scores of 300 plus. It felt as if it was a batting competition in the main.
I don't think the white balls do much after a while. I think there's that's gloved. He's going to get 4 runs again down there. It shows how quick this outfield is. That goes running away. Beats Josh Shaw. Again crashes into those boards down in front of the chapel. And this is a lightning start by Derbyshire. 58 for none off 9.
And what it might do is it might mean that those that follow, with Gloucestershire having more men out, can play in a more orthodox fashion in the middle overs.
Yeah.
Van Meekeren then for the last over of the power play, chopped into the ground, straight to Tector by Lewis Rees.
So the power plays in, they work. You have to have 2 men outside the ring in the first one for the first 10 overs. There's a second power play though, isn't there?
I refer to it as more as phases than the power plays really. First 10 overs, 2 men outside the circle. Overs 11 to 40, 4 men outside the circle. Overs 40 to 41 to 50, 5 men outside the circle. Van Meekeren from the chapel end, slower ball and picked by Lewis Rees. He's also picked the gap as well. It's gone way past Ben Charlesworth, and that's going to scuttle away into the boundary in front of the members' stand for 4 more. So that will mean that Derbyshire have now hit 11 fours and a 6 in this power play.
That's a lovely shot from Lewis Rees there. Just leant on that. Didn't really even sort of hit it. It was just pure timing.
Left-hander waits once for Van Meekeren, staying over the wicket. Oh, he clothed that. That might have gone. Well, he was aiming to hit it over the scoreboard, I think, wide long on, but got it right on the bottom of the bat. I think I'd be having Zafar Gahar in sooner rather than later here.
I think it's pace off. I definitely think it might be pace off the ball here.
Because Gloucestershire have picked 4 quicker bowlers and only the 1 spinner. Rees again pulls that, another short ball from Van Meekeren, and that's gone that 1 bounce again into that favourite position for Derbyshire in this first 10 overs. Behind square on the leg side, they've gone in position very well to play the back of a length ball that they found they can pull quite comfortably. Yeah,
definitely. It's I wouldn't go short ball here anymore. I think it's worth having a look at, but I think this is pace off. It wouldn't surprise me to see Zafar bowl his 10. Wouldn't surprise me to see Jack Taylor having a good bowl as well.
Van Meekeren in. Oh, Rees tries again to whip that away on the leg side.
And Ollie Price is the other spinner. How can we forget about Ollie Price? He got into double figures in wickets in T20. So it wouldn't surprise me to see those 3 possibly bowl 25 of the overs here today.
Van Meekeren with the last ball then of this first 10, where Derbyshire have got 66, and that's where they'll stay. So in the second 5 overs, they've scored 39, which is a decent pickup from where they started, and came and reached the opening pair still together, having been put in, and straight away Zafar for Ajit Singh Dale is the change. Ajit's bowled 5 overs for 29, and we're going to have Zafar Gahar from the College Lawn end.
Changing bowling at College Lawn end, Zafar Gahar.
I think this has to be right.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's pace off the ball. I've got Dumbleton Dan doing my scoring here.
Is his writing neater than yours?
He's got very neat writing, yeah. I'm very impressed, Dumbleton. Dumbleton's his cricket club, by the way. Got to the final of the National Village competition. Won it last year, didn't they? Tommy Borman got runs for them, who featured in the game against Wiltshire. The curtailed game, which was washed out on Sunday after just 13 overs. Produced a number of good cricketers up on the Worcestershire border. Here's Zafar. And that's lifted over the top. That might run away down there. And Meekeren pulls it back in. Josh Shaw helping him out with the throw there. Great work from those two, but Derbyshire get 3. 3 more to Lewis Rees. Yeah, no, he's got very neat writing. Did you do the scoring for your cricket club as well? Did they get you to do the scoring? No.
That was an interesting shot from Kane. First up, didn't have a look at Zafar at all. There, just played that literally off what he saw.
Rees just plays that into the onside. Chris Dent doing the fielding.
So, big gap for Dent to cover on the leg side.
Yeah, Zafar going around the wicket still to the left-hander. Rees just tickles him round the corner. He's going to run the first one quickly and look for a second, but Tector's quick in off the boundary.
So for Zafar, that's not unsurprisingly, he's got a long off out for the right-hander. He's got a deep square and a deep point.
Hits the pads there of Harry Kane. Tector bowls a little bit of off-spin as well, doesn't he? Picked up a few wickets in one-day internationals for Ireland, so Gloucestershire do have options. So that's just turned into the onside. They do have options with the ball. They've got 4 spinners in this side potentially, with Jack Taylor and Ollie Price and Harry Tector, along with Zafar. And then with the quicks, they've got Ajit Sindel, Josh Shaw, Paul Van Meekeren, Zaman Akhtar. Oh, that's well bowled. Goes past the outside edge of Lewis Rees's bat. Have I forgotten anyone now there?
Well,
Ben Charlesworth can bowl a little bit of seam up.
I would say, because James Bracey's got one, so Zaman is probably the only person in this Gloucestershire team who doesn't have, Dent might not, a List A wicket.
Has Bracey got a List A wicket?
Yes, he has, yeah, at Chelmsford.
What was all that about? Why would you bowl your keeper in a List A game?
Because he didn't keep.
Ah, okay.
Oh, he's played on. Kane was played on. Van Meekeren's got the breakthrough. And the first wicket goes down with... Oh, Kane will be really annoyed at that. Just needed a little steer down to third man. That's what he wanted to try and do. He's made 40 and he's given his team a really good start, but he'll be annoyed to have got out.
Harry Kane bowled by Paul Van Meekeren for 40.
40 off 32 balls.
Of 32 balls.
And Derbyshire 71 for 1. Gloucestershire needed that. And he wanders off, looking as if he's found a pound and lost a tenner.
Looks like Lloyd.
And David Lloyd comes out for what will be his parent club next year. He's currently his loan club at number 3. He made the bulk of his runs in List A cricket for Glamorgan. Averages 24, which is fairly modest when you consider he's got nearly 5,000 first-class runs.
Batted very well with Glamorgan. He got 81 before being trapped here by Tom Price, LBW, and then 38 not out in the second innings, which was just Gloucestershire bowling pies really to try and get through the overs because they were behind on the run rate. Lloyd from North Wales, yes, he was going to Derbyshire a few weeks ago.
So here he is then facing Van Meekeren, who bowls a very short one. And umpire Bailey says that's one for the over. Welcome to the game, David.
Yeah, Van Meekeren will know what happened here a couple of weeks ago. So letting him have it. Lloyd from Shrewsbury School, a couple of years below James Taylor. Jack Shantry, we had umpiring here in the game against Worcestershire last week. He was Shrewsbury School. And then Lloyd's announced that he's going to Derbyshire to be closer to his family in North Wales than Glamorgan.
Van Meekeren into him, and he's still looking for his first run play through to Ben Charlesworth. Charlesworth, of course, missed the championship game with...
Yeah.
No, it's a free hit.
Yeah, it's a no ball and a free hit.
Free hit coming up.
So Van Meekeren overstepping. So Lloyd just faced 2 balls. What will his tactic be, and what will Van Meekeren's tactic be for this free hit again? It's short and well taken by Bracey.
Do you get a nick on that? Van Meekeren laughing.
There was quite a cheer from some people in the crowd who maybe hadn't seen the signal.
Yeah, let's have a look. We can see if we can see this again.
See it again at the end of the over. Van Meekeren pitches that one up, and that's a hit on the bounce. Well, steered away by Lloyd to Tector. Stuff always happens when Van Meekeren's bowling, doesn't it?
They do. He creates theatre, doesn't he? And it's normally quite good fun as well.
More than one way.
Yeah.
I.e., ball could be flying to the boundary.
Yeah.
Or he could be dispatching batsmen back to the pavilion. One for 13 he has. Slower ball, picked by Lloyd. Up to Chris Dent, who will...
Here we go, here's the free hit.
innings.
It's a good take by Bracey. Cheers from the crowd as well.
Bracey's still a fair way back there too. He's got to beat.
Tell you what, this is a good over so far. 1 ball left in it, but it's only the 2 no balls, along with a wicket. 2 no balls have spoilt. This is a dot ball.
Oh, Lloyd takes that down the leg side, but it was off the pad.
That would have been a wicket maiden.
So, sharp over from Van Meekeren. 3 overs for 13. Good comeback from him. And the wicket as well of Harry Kane, who played on for 40, but he's given Derbyshire a good start here.
Yeah, I think Van Meekeren just probably beat Harry Kane a little bit for pace. That's why he got on here late and chopped it on. Meekeren, Dutch international. He was excellent at the World Cup last year, I thought. Zafar going around the wicket to Rees, who just opens the face, runs that backward of square. Gets this one the other side of Josh Shaw.
Rees has been a bit
And they
more
come through for a
selective
single.
about which balls to attack than Kane was.
Yeah, he's 30 or 37.
Didn't have much of the strike at the start.
No.
So Lloyd, say, in at 3. Haider Ali at 4, Brooke Guest at 5, Tom Wood, and then you're into the bowlers after that. Although Anuj Dal has to be a handy bat at 7.
Defended there by Di Lloyd. Do you reckon he's become a David now? He's gone to an English county.
Might well be. Perhaps they call him Bumble.
That's chopped away, backward of square. Is that going to be Actor? No, great work there in the field. And a good flat throw comes in, 1 bounce to James Bracey. Saved 2 runs there, Zaman Actor.
You know, in a way I'm surprised that Chris Dent isn't used more in the deep, given how quick he is across the ground. Good arm.
Quick single there. Come through.
There was Dent backing up, but he's in at orthodox, well, quite short mid-on for the right-handed Lloyd. Mid-off rather, and at mid-on now for Rees.
Reverse sweep, that's gone over Josh Shaw there from Lewis Rees. That's an intelligent cricket shot there. Moves the score on to 81. He's got that over Josh Shaw, didn't he?
Yeah, and Shaw's on the edge of the circle, so Rees knew there's a gap behind him. So he might have felt it was relatively low risk. So Lloyd still stuck at Van Meekeren's end. And that's hit him on the pad. Have to work that away to deep square on the leg side. There's some blue sky about, but 1 or 2 grey clouds. We were told the ground staff are reasonably confident of being dry today. I'm not saying it's going to be particularly sunny.
Yeah, all this festival, it's been coming over from our left, over the sort of the between the main pavilion and the chapel. There's a little bit of blue sky
from the Bath Road, where Dan desperately wants a greasy spoon breakfast, but he can't find one. (81 for 1) Derbyshire. Van Meekeren in again to Lloyd, who will get a single this time. That's work to Salman Akhtar at deep square.
It's a good fielder, Akhtar, isn't he?
Yeah, he's... Let's see how he's used in this game. I think for the quicker bowlers, we won't see a long spell from anybody necessarily.
No, I think you rotate, don't you? You don't let the batter get used to you. And I think you just sort of rotate your bowlers.
Van Meekeren to Rees again. That was if you can have, if Van Meekeren has a slower ball, that was it. Rees defending. Dan's deciding it's no longer just a polo shirt day. Going for the jacket. So third man, deep square, both out. There is also a man at deep point. Van Meekeren staying over the wicket, and Rees pulls that. It's off the bottom of the bat. Straight to Ollie Price. James Bracey captaining the side from behind the stumps today. I think he spoke on Saturday evening about the inconsistency of the side in 4-day cricket. You know, can't put 4 days of 3 sessions together. Bits and pieces in a game are fine, but even in this cricket you can have phases where, well, that's very short from Van Meekeren, and Rees gets underneath and he looks towards the umpire saying, why wasn't that a no ball?
Got away with it. Yeah,
I kind of agree with him, because we're square on here. That was very high.
Yeah, I thought that was over his head.
Mark Newell, the umpire at square leg. 1 ball left in this 4th Van Meekeren over. The 1 wicket so far. That of Harry came for 40. Rees has 34, and that's still steered just past Tector. Down to third man. He will get 1. Tector put his hands on his head. Almost felt that was, if he'd have really gone for that, I mean, it would have been a worldy sort of catch, but not impossible. He could have got it. There's the what we call the Manhattan, with the graph showing the runs per over, and the little circle, the wicket of Came.
James Young's been in touch on the email. Hello James, hope you're well. Said, hi chaps. While I agree with you that Tector would be good to see for longer, Ireland have a T20 series v India and then England starting on August the 18th and running through to the end of September. So he's only going to be available. I'll come on to it after this ball. Just short from Zafar. Reese defends. He's only going to be available for a maximum of 4 more games after today. They also have a packed summer in 2024 with home series v Pakistan, South Africa, Zimbabwe and Australia. Good from Zafar. Saw Lewis Reese coming there, just held it back a little bit. So the chances of him playing more than a handful of games for Gloucestershire are slim, unfortunately. Well, thanks for clarifying that, James. And he says, keep up the good work to us. Well, you keep up the good work, James, because that was a good email. Thanks very much, mate.
Got a call from Paul in Burnley as well.
Yeah.
I know Burnley isn't in Gloucestershire or Derbyshire, but that's the benefit of the stream being available wherever you are. I think it's all about kits, and I'll get to that in a minute. James was actually here earlier in the week. I did see him. Which day was that? It would have been the Friday of the Worcestershire game.
Played into the offside there from David Lloyd.
Lloyd's not wanting to waste this start that Derbyshire have got.
Oh, Tector attacked that. And the misfield, they come back for 2.
Paul in Burnley says, mention of the kits makes me think the Derbyshire one is a bit of a throwback to when coloured outfits were first used in the 1993 Sunday League, when the white ball also made an appearance for the first time in domestic cricket, 16 years after Packer.
Zafar. Lloyd plays it into the onside. Yeah, I remember those kits.
Those kits all had the same design, just different colours. It all felt rather exciting, he said.
There was obviously a deal, wasn't there? Because the 1992 World Cup all had the same design, but just different colours as well. So it's obviously just one manufacturer got the
Paul goes on. Mention of the 81 Derbyshire team got me thinking of the semi against Essex, I should say. It was bleak weather even for August at Derby, and the match was spread out over 2 days. I'll get back to that during this over from Van Meekeren. He's bowling to Lewis Reese, and Reese gives that back to the bowler. He says Essex ran up 149 all out in 60 overs. Derbyshire scraped home with the scores tied at 149 for 8, which went right to the last ball. Norbert Phillip gave away various overthrows to see Derbyshire home off for the last ball. Imagine that, less than 300 runs in 120 overs, but it was great stuff. The Northamptonshire v Lancashire semi was similar low scoring. Graham Fowler kept wicket, missing a David Lloyd ball that left to the winning byes.
Oh.
Van Meekeren to Reese, who gets that right off the bottom of the bat, not going where he intended at all. It's ended up going to deep square, and they'll come back for 2. Paul says, finally, good job no camera in those days for the winning single in the final. I'm not sure Jeff Miller made it. It was chaotic with the crowd invading. Barry Wood, who I saw at a caravan site in North Wales a few years back,
Brilliant.
lifted the trophy for Derbyshire.
Barry Wood out of caravan site in North Wales. I mean, it doesn't get any better.
Reese again pulls that with more authority this time. That will be 4.
I saw Nasser Hussain in a beach in North Wales, actually. On, I think it was Llanbedrog, which is over sort of right over near Harlech, that way.
Reese has gone past Kame now into the 40s.
You know when you do a double take and it's like, whoa, is that him? And it was.
Paul, thanks for your interaction. I know you've been on the email at other points during the festival, so...
You forget as well also that Barry Wood actually spent time at Derbyshire, didn't he?
Yeah.
You always associate him with Lancashire, but... Yeah, he went to Derbyshire.
Van Meekeren in, that's clipped in the air, but perfectly safe by Reese. In fact, so safe it's gone for 6. I thought it was going to be down towards the scoreboard 2 or 3 bounces, but it's gone further than that, all the way for a maximum.
Jack Hampshire as well. You associate him with Yorkshire, but he spent time at Derbyshire, didn't he, Jackie Hampshire?
I'm sure so. So Rees now with 8 fours and a 6 in his 48. And looking somebody that Gloucestershire could do with seeing in the pavilion. Van Rieken's going to come round the wicket. And Rees works him again fine. There is a man now at long leg for him though. So there'll just be one. And it's almost attack at one end and defend at the other with these two at the moment. It was a little bit like that when Kame and Rees started. Kame attacked and Rees was happy to play second fiddle, and now Lloyd's come out and has been happy to just push the singles and let Rees power away at the other end. Van Meekeren at the end of his 5th over, Rees into the air and caught. Lloyd, I should say, caught by Charlesworth. There's the wicket. Gloucestershire have got their breakthrough, not perhaps the one they wanted, but yep. David Lloyd's still a handy operator, and at the end of his 5th over, Van Meekeren's now taken 2 wickets, and that was a comfortable catch at short mid-wicket by Ben Charlesworth. Lloyd, today anyway, out cheaply. We'd expect to see Haider Ali come out at number 4, and indeed it is him. Played a couple of ODIs for Pakistan, rather more T20 cricket internationally. But
yeah, he's played a couple of one days, hasn't he, for Pakistan against Zimbabwe back in 2020.
So Van Meekeren now 2 for 28 from his 5 overs.
Top score of 29.
I wonder if
Lewis Rees is the one that Gloucestershire want now.
So it's still right-hand, left-hand combination here. So you wonder if Gloucestershire would try 2 spinners on 2 spinners together. Would they be tempted to try Ollie Price with Zafar potentially?
Here's Zafar going around the wicket to Lewis Rees. Run rate of 6.12 here. Motoring. Rees tries to work that into the onside, can't get it past Chris Dent. There he tickles it around the corner. Oh, they think about one, but Van Meekeren.
Haider Ali could have been run out without facing a ball there if they'd gone for that single.
Yeah. Just works it back with a square. And again he wants one. Haider Ali sends him back. Josh Shaw doing well round the corner there on the offside.
Doesn't fancy a sharp single to start things, Haider Ali, does he?
No.
I don't think there was a run to either of those shots.
No, I don't either. Oh, leading edge, nearly goes back to Zafar.
Dan pace off Whiting with Zafar bowling the end of his 4th over, and he conceded 16 at the moment.
That's a maiden. That's a really good over by Zafar Gahar. Really positive. Again, I think pace off is the way on this wicket.
So
I think we'll see Jack Taylor and Ollie Price come to the fore here. As I said, I think they'll probably bowl maybe 25 out of these 50 overs.
Well, Van Meekeren's taken 2 wickets, but he's still going to be taken off here, and Zaman Akhtar is coming on. So Van Meekeren's spell 5 overs for 28 at this stage. Other bowling figures: Ajit Singh Dell 5 overs for 29, Josh Shaw 3 overs for 26, and Zafar 4 overs 1 maiden no wicket for 16, and that's just at the one end anyway. Applied a little bit of a break.
Just having a look through the Derbyshire side, they've got 2 spinners in there. Alex Thompson bowls off breaks.
Yeah, and Mark Watt.
Mark Watt, the Scottish slow left armour.
So here is Zaman Akhtar in. That's down the leg side, but he's got away with that.
Ooh.
And Bailey not giving that as a wide, so it remains at 99 for 2. Elsewhere, so they're inspecting at 12 o'clock at Old Trafford. Worcestershire 104 for 2 at Chesterley Street against Durham. That's off 17. And Kent 49 for 3 at Scarborough off 15.
I haven't done it all week.
Haydar Ali facing Zaman.
I haven't pushed it. I got 1 no ball from around the wicket because I didn't look at my mark. But other than that,
Van Meekeren
Just joining us in the marquee here.
almost giving us a live running commentary, saying that he only bowled 1 no ball in the championship game. Let's get a drink, past a drink from Joe Phillips. Here is Akhtar in, and Haydar Ali just having a look at the moment, just pushing that out to Tector. In on the single at point. So for Zaman, we've got Ajit Singh Dale back at wide long leg. I think somebody said
Send Joe Phillips off for a banana milkshake.
Yeah. Steered away by Haydar Ali, he's off the mark. That's down to 3rd man. And the 100 up for Derbyshire, 100 up in the 18th over. 2 wickets down. Quite a bit would depend on these 2 and Brooke Guest, you would think, if Derbyshire are to get a really challenging score. Akhtar around the wicket to Rees, who dips into mid-wicket, straight to Ollie Price, who was just doing some gentle limbering up at the end of the last over. No, not a banana milkshake, well, actually just a banana.
Oh, it's just a banana.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
He's bowled 5 overs. He wants some potassium. Nice shot. Only straight to mid-off though. Dent moving around, will kick into a single. And 50 for Lewis Rees. Eight fours and a 6, 58 balls.
Yeah, he's batted well, Lewis Rees. Nice innings. But he'll want to double that up and go big here. Yeah, I was going to say a banana milkshake. You know, what's he going to do? Send him to the McDonald's in the town centre?
I feel a little bit...
I was going to go and give him a couple of quid.
High bar to set.
I was going to give him a couple of quid, see if he'd pick us up a couple of cheeseburgers while he's down there as well.
Ollie Price is out at long on there for Rees, as Zafar to continue.
Zafar coming around the wicket. That's in the air, and that's out. Tector with the catch, straight down his throat. Hardly had to move, and takes it right in front of his face.
That would be a big wicket. That would feel a big wicket. Because Zafar put the man back straight, and Rees tried to go the other way and picked out one of the tallest fielders in the Gloucestershire team.
Yeah. He hardly had to move there.
Lewis Rees caught by Harry Tector earlier for the Manhattan 450.
Lewis Rees goes for 50. It was like shelling peas.
And that brings in the Derbyshire captain, Brooke Guest. He will keep wicket. So both teams being captained by their wicket keepers today.
Yes, good. Yeah, good statage there, Ian.
Now one more wicket quite quickly here, and Derbyshire would have to be very careful.
Yeah, I agree.
About how they get through these middle overs.
Yeah, I agree.
And probably actually both these two know that there is a period of just kind of consolidation a little bit. They've got a fast start in terms of the run rate they've set up, but the key point is the wickets column at this stage. You know, 3 down inside 20 overs.
Yeah, 1 or 2 more.
Well, certainly one more.
And Derbyshire
and
will...
you're right into the all-rounders then.
Yeah, Derbyshire might struggle to get 250, 260 if you get 1 or 2 more now.
What did I say? So you think you're going to go big on this ground? Doesn't always happen that way.
No. Guest defends first ball.
No, I know that 264 wasn't enough last year for Gloucestershire to play Warwickshire because Sibley got 100 and looked in absolutely no bother at all.
Yeah. Guest defends. Brooke Guest, 26-year-old Manchester lad. Joined from Lancashire. He got 500s back in 2021. Got 900 county championship runs last year. That's a nice shot. That's really well fielded there. Harry Tector. Looks a fine acquisition.
Just for today.
You never know, Ian. You never know.
At the moment, just for today.
Can he bring the luck of the Irish to Gloucestershire? Big family, isn't there? Jack Tector, he was a good player. Don't know what happened to him actually. He was like defended. Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't be the first Irishman to come to Cheltenham for a sporting event this year, would he, Ian?
No. A wicket maiden for Zafar. 5 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 16. And various members of staff are very kindly bringing us tea and coffee, which is very helpful. Thank you, Jack, and to Jess for doing that.
Ian Randall has got a decent cup of tea. For those of you who followed the stream recently,
Too much exposure.
you'll know that Ian Randall's cup of tea went viral because it was an absolute disgrace to life.
Zaman Akhtar to Haider Ali, who is just sliding that down to Van Meegeren. And they have got 1 run there. A bit of sloppy running or indecisive running, you'd say, between Rees and Ali. A couple of overs ago. 102 for 3. Then Derbyshire, having been put in, and Guest to face his first ball. That was sharp from
That was sharp.
Zaman Akhtar.
Good carry.
We've seen some bounce from both ends if the bowlers are really prepared to bend their backs. Jack Taylor out at deep square. And there is another short one from Zaman.
It's a slower bouncer. It's amazing how the game's moved on, isn't it? I mean, the slower ball bouncer a few years ago was a complete pie, wasn't it? It was a bad ball and it would be put away. Now it's become like a shock weapon and it's used sparingly still, but it's come into the game, and it's not so much the pie that it used to be a few years ago. Yeah, off cutter bouncer.
Ben Charlesworth's gone back into slip for Achter, and Guest is away with a single. That was a smartly run one.
Yeah, Ollie Price in there. He's a good fielder.
May even have been Taylor who suggested that the slip went back in for Haider Ali. So 2 relatively new batsmen at the crease, just what Gloucestershire want to try and put the brake on things here. Achter in, that's chopped on the bounce over Tector's dive by Haider Ali, and that will go down the slope and to the boundary for 4. It was an unusual occurrence, given he went into the ground quite close to him. Even Tector's height couldn't hold that.
No.
Haider Ali to 6, and Zaman Achter to bowl to him. That's very, very fine. That'll be 4 more. That's down the leg side. He quickly onto that. Didn't need to get much on it to race it away to the College Lawn end boundary. Too straight, really. Rather than being actually leg side, it was just allowing Haider Ali to come inside the line. 20 overs gone. 111 for 3 Derbyshire, and
I think Dumbleton Dan's pen's run out halfway through scoring here. We're gonna have to get him sorted out. Oh, it's all right now.
the pen is free, Dan. It's all right now.
Zaffa in.
You didn't get that, did you?
I did.
Did you? Oh, okay.
Dan, you can take it home as well if you want, right? As a souvenir, a memento of your work here. A big biro all the way from the Cheltenham Festival. It's Zaffa Gahar in as Guest tries to move his feet to him and can't get him away.
Would you be bowling Zaffa right through here? I'm not sure.
As long as he's bowling well. Yeah, I would, because
Would
I
you?
think there are other options, yeah. He's just played into the
I
onside.
wonder if I might. This is his 6th over. I wonder if I might keep
There's Tom Smith on as a sub down there.
3 back.
There's Tom Smith on as a sub in the deep.
Yes, he is.
Who's he on for? Ajit Singhdale? I think he might be. Haider Ali defends. It is Ajit, isn't it? Can't see Ajit anywhere on the pitch.
No.
Oh, that's got to be close. Oh, that's got to be close. Let's have another look. Where's this hit him? Haider Ali didn't go forward or back. It's him on the back leg as well. Has that got him outside the line, possibly? Swept for 1 down to Josh Shaw out in the deep. I do apologise. Oh, it's a fire engine this time as opposed to ambulance.
Main Cheltenham Fire Station was the area that was used for a lot of the COVID jabs, and that's literally, as the crow flies, not much more than a big hit from the hospital.
Okay. Yeah, we're right opposite Cheltenham Hospital, so we have had the sound of sirens, or as I like to call it, Ian Randall's Uber.
So Achter to continue, and Haider Ali will get just 1, despite a bit of football from Zaman as he followed through. So Zaffa 6 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 18 at the moment.
It's good.
Very good.
Yeah, I'd just keep him going as long as he's doing all right.
Also helps the over rate as well. Generally, I mean, it is 3.5 hours allocated to bowl these 50 overs. Most sides tend to bowl them in about 3 hours 15. Someone in, and Guest just pushes that out on the offside to Ollie Price. I think, would you want Price as the off spinner bowling to the longer leg side boundary?
Yes.
Yeah,
despite the slope, you'd want Price bowling from the chapel end, because I think it's just a mishit into that Sanford Road for 6.
Someone again. Guest gets
slipped there, didn't he?
He loses his back foot, I think. 114 for 3. Gloucestershire won the toss. I think they're quite happy with this at the moment.
Well,
in terms of what's to follow, yeah, Tom Wood does have a T20 100 this season, so can put bat to ball. Anuj Dal not scored a lot of runs in this competition, and he's batting at 7, which kind of tells you that Derbyshire really depended a lot, or have depended a lot, on their first 4 or 5 wickets. 3 have gone already. Guest waits for Akhtar, and he's pulled that. Jack Taylor will run in from the boundary to meet it, and his return keeps them down to a single. There's the coffee down, right?
Very nice. Yeah, very nice.
Is it hot?
Very hot, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I'll let my tea cool for a bit then.
Yeah, no, it's good. Early start this morning, 5:45 alarm. Obviously a little bit of talk sport action in the night as well, so coffee is much needed.
Salman to Haider Ali. And that's, again, works into that same space. More work for Taylor off the boundary. And bounce throw into James Bracey. I wonder if James Healy can put the card up for this Derbyshire innings. We're at the end of the 22nd over. There it is, full details for you. Good first wicket partnership.
Yes, 71 for the
played
opener.
on to Van Meekeren. Rees caught in the deep by Tector off Zafar, and then David Lloyd clipped a little gentle lob to Charlesworth at mid-wicket.
Oh, Zafar's coming off. A cheat.
I did wonder. I didn't think he'd bowl straight through. That isn't the way of doing things now. I might have given him one more, but good spell initially for Zafar.
Here we go. Pauline Burnley's been back. And of course, chaps, the great FST. Is that Fred Truman?
Yep.
Least likely Derbyshire player. It's cut away. Jack Taylor's out on the boundary. But it happened when he came out of retirement to play Sunday League in the early 70s, bowling off that restricted run-up. It didn't last long. Remember they used to spray the pitch, remember, with a 15-yard run-up? Before Fred Truman did that silly, what's that pub game thing where he went round pubs?
Indoor league.
That's it. What do they play? They play darts.
Bar billiards.
Yeah. Singdale.
And do you know? Do you remember that program? Do you remember what his what they would say in the trade his outro was?
He was sitting there with a pint and his pipe,
yes.
Wasn't he?
Yeah, and it was "I'll sit there." Of course it would be, wouldn't it?
Brilliant. Anyway, Paul carries on. Says Fred then went on to tread the boards at Batley Variety Club, giving his own version of stand-up comedy, which I dare say wouldn't be very acceptable for the modern age. Oh, that's an inside edge. The excellent Cress Waters biography is well worth a look for fellow stream watchers. Paul and Alfie the Shih Tzu, who is watching on my knee, and says, P.S. Gloucestershire is my favourite stream. Paul, what a lovely email. Hope you and Alfie are enjoying yourselves. And thank you for your kind words. We try and be fair. We try and keep it nice, don't we, Ian?
Yeah, and we try and be fair. That is the key point.
Yeah. That's just cut away. He's going to get one there. Jack Taylor's doing the work. He's got the ball out of his hand quickly. That's the thing. Get the ball out of your hand quickly, and it puts the doubt in the mind of the runner.
Actually, if you're watching on the stream today, and you do watch other streams, which Paul implies there that he does, what difference has that made to your accessibility of county cricket?
Yeah.
Drop us a note on that if you really think. And COVID was clearly not great for everybody, but it has changed the coverage of the game in a big way.
That's going to go for 4. Oh, he's done well there to cut that off. Zafar, brilliant. That had 4 runs written all over it. Singdale's bowling a little bit short and wide outside the off stump, but that's fantastic work there out in the deep. Yeah, we try and be fair. Unlike the accusations of a certain other stream of perhaps another club in the West Country. Yeah, Devon in the national county's been terrible. Soon when they play Cornwall. Such bias. Just run away for 1 run. There's the worm.
Steadily climbing, I think you'd say. Still Derbyshire's overall rate is well above 5.
They'll want some wickets in hand though for the acceleration at the back end of the innings, won't they?
Just to make the point about the overs, Gloucestershire bowled 23 overs in an hour and a half, so if they got to 46 overs in 2 hours, they're going to be miles inside the allocated time. I think if you're trying to plan lunch, 2:15, be my guess. Zaman to continue, and Haider Ali just starting.
2:15, you thinking?
I would think if they bat the 50 overs, 2:15. We're on the expectation that we will see some more spin. I don't think Gloucestershire are going to go through this innings only using 5 bowlers. I'd be very surprised. Zaman to Haider Ali.
Oh, that's a good nut.
Has that just held its line, or has that gone away down the slope? I say slope. It's not like the Hannon Cam. Let's just say that. Bright sunshine now. And Haider slapped that into the leg side, and that's gone all the way into the members for 6 at mid-wicket.
Yeah, he got a 54 from 33 balls on his T20 debut against England at Old Trafford back in September 2020. And part of that Pakistan side, which did so well in T20 cricket last year.
Suffering again. Sorry, Zaman, as you were in again, and this time away only off the pad? No, says umpire Bailey. So at the moment, Gloucestershire keeping the extras down. Just the 2 wides and the 1 no ball bowled by Van Meekeren in addition to 1 leg by, so almost everything off the bat. And that's a good ball again from Zaman. Just guessed at the moment, he's still feeling his way into the innings here. Off 19. So on that little shuffle at the start of his run. Oh, that's again that slower ball, short ball. Guess he's only going to get. Well, he's going to get one. He's going to try and go for a second, and he's got back. That was a sharp 2. He knew he was running to the danger end. And Derbyshire almost at half distance, 130 for 3 off 24. 5 bowlers used so far by Gloucestershire. The wickets to Van Meekeren with 2 and Zafar Gahar with 1. This might be maybe 3 overs for Ajit, do you think?
Yeah, I mean,
It'd be a 2 or 3 and leaving 2 or 3, wouldn't it?
Gloucestershire had good momentum there. They'd taken the pace off the ball. Zafar Gahar had bowled very well. He'd bowled, what were his figures? They were
6 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 18.
Yeah. So the pace off was working as that nearly sneaks through
Almost
the
played
defences of Hyder Ali. So, yeah, it was working, but I wonder if Gloucestershire brought back the pace just to try and sort of... Because in limited overs cricket, it's about getting rid of some overs, isn't it? It's about sort of, you know, trying to sort of manufacture some overs for low runs in the middle order.
Yes,
How's your tea in?
Tea's fine, Dan.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Marvellous.
Not too strong.
You know I like to look after you. Here's a cheat. Oh, that's a thick outside edge. But not thick enough that it goes to third. It flashes past James Bracey and goes for 4 runs down to those Metro Bank boundary boards in front of the chapel.
I know you've mentioned it already, but it is a good crowd in today.
Yeah.
All 3 stands
There's at least 3,000 in here, I'd say.
pretty well populated. There is an appetite for 50 over cricket in Cheltenham.
Slower ball from Ajit. That's going to go for 4 as well.
It has gone. It was only just 4. Zafar, I thought, might have gone to dive to reach it at one stage, but again, that boundary is, I think, Harry Clements, it's about 10 metres difference between the hit square on the 2 sides of the ground, so 10 metres further.
And it's down the hill as well.
To our side of the ground compared to down the hill on the other side. That's the shorter boundary.
Yeah, it's down the hill as well. I think Ajit might come out and attack after this over, possibly. One quick one to Ollie Price, who's thought was going to throw the stumps down there. Ollie Price, not often you see him at mid-off, is it?
I mean generally, in T20, he was one of the boundary riders because he's such good hands. That may come later.
I think he's one of the best fielders, possibly in the country, actually. Dropped one the other day and everyone was like, oh, I couldn't believe it. Everyone was shocked. Yeah, that's just played out to Jack Taylor out in the offside, patrolling the cover boundary. 140 up for Gloucestershire in nearly halfway through the innings.
Yeah, so 1 ball to go to get Derbyshire to halfway. You still might think they can get close to 300 here, but they've got to be very wary about the wickets column for me. Not much below 7 in their order, I would suggest.
That's played back to Ajit. 10 off the over, so 140 for 3 at the halfway mark. Hyder Ali is on 32 off just 28 balls. 24 balls, actually. I lie to you. It's not often I lie to you at home, but I do on this occasion. 24 balls. Brooke Guest is on 7 off 21, being far more circumspect.
So
watery sunshine
at this
bathes the
halfway,
ground.
each of the 5 overs, first 5 overs 27, second 5 overs 39, then 33, then 12, then 29. So that one spell where Zaffa was on was the time at which Gloucestershire had the most control. So Ajit's bowled 7 overs for 44.
Ollie Price is going to come on.
Well, Dan Whiting's been calling for it. And he's also going to bowl at the Chapel end, which again was the end that you called for the off-spinner.
Harry Clement's going to do the match day announcing. Here he comes in. He's going to come in around the wicket. Bowls well.
I'm indebted to you forever.
Comes cut away there by Guest. Tector just fielding now in front of us. Big cricket family back in Dublin. One round the corner there. And Makerin doing the fielding, tumbling stop.
Do you think
the Joyces and the Tectors are big cricket families in Dublin?
Do you think
Joyce,
Derbyshire would feel that they should be able to milk the singles off Price?
I think that's what they'll be looking for. They'll be looking just to work the ones at this stage. Low risk strategy as they've just done there, playing one out to Jack Taylor out at deep mid wicket.
They had 10 overs of that. They'd get to about 190 with 15 to go. Possibly still only 3 down.
Short, but only pulled out to Tector.
The target, if they can, has got to be a score that starts with a 3, however difficult that may seem to be to get here.
Tossed up by Price. Diving, can't stop the ball from going out to long on to Zamanakta. And that's 5 off the over. I think Gloucestershire won't mind the singles as well. As long as these overs don't start, the boundaries start flowing in this middle stage, I think they'll be all right with that.
Yeah, Jack Taylor and Harry Tector just having a chat about something at the end of that Price over. 5 from it, all in singles. And Josh Shaw now coming back from the College lawn end. So another change, a double change being made by James Bracey.
Got a spider in my coffee, Ian. I'm not happy about it.
Don't tell everyone down, they'll all want one.
All the spiders here will want, and there has been a plethora of spiders in this marquee, haven't there? It's been awash with arachnida. Here's Josh Shaw as Guest plays that out into the offside. Jack Taylor doing the fielding. Not often you see Jack Taylor on the boundary. He's skipped at the white ball side in recent years. So he's always been in the infield, hasn't he?
Yeah, the debate, I think, for James Bracey is where do you use Zaffa's other 4 overs? You've got to find a home for those at the right place. Probably maybe somewhere at 35. That sort of time in the game.
Shaw to Ali, who just opens the face there, runs it down to Zamanakta, who's got an arm that strikes fear into batters looking for the 2.
First round, a bit busy old schedule this competition. Gloucestershire playing again on Friday, obviously. 8 games in 22 days it is, and that's just the group stages.
Yeah. Oh, he's not got a hold of that, just dribbles out. Tector smartly in, doesn't allow them off the strike. So the format, Ian, is the winners go through to the semi-final, don't they? And then they play the winners of 2 versus 3
in the other groups.
In the other groups.
But the group winners have the home advantage.
Have the home advantage.
In the knockout, which I think is fair enough.
And
You've earned it.
And in the playoff, 2 has the home advantage against 3, doesn't it?
Correct.
That's well bowled by Josh Shaw. Just pushing Adar Ali back there as they collide. A little bit of disco dancing. Actually, more of a foxtrot, I think, wasn't it?
They're going to start at 1 o'clock at Old Trafford between Lancashire and Essex.
That was more Len Goodman than Dominic Goodman.
The other 2 scores and the other 2 matches in a moment.
That's call behind. No, they appeal for it. It's obviously flicked something.
Worcestershire 156 for 3 in the 29th against Durham, so they're going well. And Scarborough, Kent 76 for 4 after 23 against Yorkshire. So that's a bit more old-fashioned, dare I call it that, 50 over cricket. A lot of rain on the Yorkshire coast.
Played out for one. Spoke about outgrounds in the marquee. That famous game at Buxton in 1975, which Derbyshire were involved in, where Lancashire got 477 on the first day and then bowled Derbyshire out for 42 and 81. The pitch was so bad that ex-Derbyshire all-rounder Ashley Harvey Walker, who sadly lost his life in a Johannesburg bar, he had to give his false teeth to umpire Dickie Bird. And it had to be Dickie Bird, didn't it? It just had to be Dickie Bird there umpiring that
Buxton,
game.
I thought you were going to mention snow for a minute.
Yeah, it was the snow. That was the snow game.
Oh, was it?
That was the snow game, yeah. The pitch was rutted. So it was baking hot on a Saturday, and then the snow came down and uncovered pitches back in those days and rutted the pitch.
Ollie Price to come in from the chapel end, worked again by Guest towards Tector, who's just been brought out a couple of tablets for something or other.
We spoke this morning in the marquee with
Joe Phillips,
Dominic Goodman and Ed Middleton, and they say that, you know, they're like a pharmacist in a way, part of their 12th man duties.
Price again into Hyder Ali, who tries to chop that away down through gully but doesn't get a touch. Hyder Ali 35 he's got. Waits again for Price and drawn forward. There's no one at square. It's a deep square. Tector, and I imagine just round the corner from out of our sight is a deep mid-wicket. Price around the wicket to the right-hander. They'll get one again here. Chase for Charlesworth. You might think about 2. A low flat throw. 150 up for Derbyshire in the 28th over. In the air and safe from Brooke Guest. He's picked Ajit Singh Dale out there at wide long off, and the ball's beaten him and run all the way to the rope, and there is the 50 partnership.
I thought he'd put it straight down his throat initially. I mean, the ball just kept going and going and going.
Price still around the wicket, and Guest will pick up a single. And he's slowly just starting to look a bit more like the fluent batsman that Derbyshire supporters know he can be.
Yeah.
Brooke Guest, the captain for this competition.
He's a good player.
Sure to continue. That was a much better last over, only 3 runs off it. To try and apply the break once more here. But they haven't lost. You haven't really bowled a length that's allowed Derbyshire to go down the ground much.
No. That's in the air, off the glove. It's only going to go for one, though, down to Zamanakta. Sorry, Ajit Singh Dale down underneath the scoreboard.
It's curious, really, because the straight boundaries are longer than the square boundaries, and yet Gloucestershire haven't really bowled that, what you might call that drivable length.
Josh Shaw from the College Lawn end. Oh, that's not far away. Let's have another look at this one. Don't think that's missed the stumps by much. Oh, it's just gone over. Shaved the bails. Josh Shaw, popular guy. One of the good guys in the game. Just worked round the corner. Zafar Gahar doing the fielding out in front of the Sanford Road stand.
There's been a criticism of both, well, Kane perhaps not so much, but he and Rees perhaps, you know, both got point when they were well in and then got out. Rees in particular picked up the fielder. Kane perhaps you could say was a shot error in a defter sense. But Derbyshire wants somebody to stick around here.
Slower ball there from Shaw.
And not make a mistake of getting out when getting to 40.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, if they
someone's got to go big, like anchor the innings.
Yeah. Even if, you know, Guest batted to the 45th over and got 80, let's say, even at a slower rate, you can get people to bat around him then.
Sure. Just run off the face there from Hadar Ali.
This is the 29th over. The middle overs are ticking by here without a vast amount of damage actually for Gloucestershire at the moment. This is a handy partnership, but they're not racing along.
Tick all the way around the corner from Guest. He's going to come back for two. No, he's not. Throw comes in quickly.
Yeah, it was actually a bit of a wild one from Zamanakta. They could have got two, but they were banking on a more accurate throw. Bit of glove punching from the two batsmen out in the middle. They've added 59 now since they were brought together in the 19th over. We've had 29, so the pace has been, I say, with aside from that one area between 15 and 20 where the Gloucestershire did put the brake on, they've scored at a reasonably even pace right the way through.
Yeah.
Ollie Price to continue, and he's whistling through his overs as well. A bit of a hoik out through the offside from Guest. He might get 4 for that though. It will go all the way into the boards at extra cover. It was a bit of a slap, but down the hill, shortish boundary. Didn't need to get everything on it. Got an attentive crowd here today, particularly with Gloucestershire fielding first. They'll be a bit livelier with Gloucestershire batting second, you would think. All the boundaries will be well met. It's a more orthodox shot from Guest to pick up one more. Up to long on. So Anakta's out there. Now Hadar Ali has shown an intent to try and up the pace of things a bit, and he's got that all the way, almost a crowd catch. Well stopped, sir. You did well to at least take the pace off that just by the scoreboard. It's got a long boundary out there on this ground.
Oh, I think he needs a bit of fielding practice, that guy. He should have called out for me.
Clean hit for 6. Nobody even on the rope would have stopped that, I don't think. Hyder Ali to 44. Still Ajit is in an orthodox position at mid-off. They haven't put a man back. Encouraging to play that shot. And Ali will pick up 1. So there've now been 4 sixes in the innings, which on a small ground at this stage is not all that many. Now that's gone the same way, and 1 bounce on this occasion for, this time from Brooke Guest. Is there going to be a field change if in James Bracey? Is he going to be tempted to put mid-off back on, right on the fence? The answer is no, and Guest again picks the gap on the leg side and can take 1 to Jack Taylor. So Ollie Price has bare bowled 3 overs for 29, and that may mean, I think, a change at that end.
Yeah.
We got to 30 overs, 177 for 3, 37 off the last 5. And these two starting to look quite well set at the moment. So James Bracey might have to think about maybe Van Meekeren, if only for a couple of overs, just to try and break this stand up.
Yeah, I think if you got wickets in hand as well, you're potentially looking at getting close to double your score off this 20. That's chopped away. Jack Taylor misfields slightly. Ball comes in for throw. They get back for 2. Brooke Guest applauding his bat there, applauding Hyder Ali. Good partnership this. Hyder Ali 45, Guest 33. The visitors are looking at north of 300 here, definitely. Shaw in. That's a wide down the leg side. Yeah, they're currently going at just shy of 6 and over, which would give you 300. Well, I think they might be looking at 310, 320 here, if they retain the wickets to have a dip in the last 10. Work round the corner. Ajit down there doing the
Dan and I shared a thought on the squads yesterday when they were picked, and Dan said he was looking forward to seeing Sam Connors bowl.
Yeah, I like him. I really like him. He's quick, genuine pace.
But I think we both had a thought that Gloucestershire would hope that their overall strength across the batting and bowling might see them through.
Sure. Oh, that's nearly rolled back onto the stumps there. I'm not sure Hyder Ali knew where that was. See him on the pad and spun back wickedly towards the stumps.
He wasn't going to do a Louis Kimber, was he?
No.
So just to explain, that was that's just a batsman who handled the ball, I think inadvertently really, in the championship game at Bristol, and of course was sent on his way for doing so.
Slower ball from Josh Shaw. Just 1 to Ali.
So James Bracey's used 6 bowlers now, so he's got some flexibility if he's trying to, in inverted commas, fiddle one set of 10 overs. I'm not sure almost anybody actually might bowl through, with perhaps the possible exception of Zafar.
Shaw heaved away into the onside by
So you do
Brooke
realise
Guest.
that we've got the possibility on Friday of a commentator problem. We've got Prithvi Shaw and Josh Shaw.
I knew his
in the
brother
same
Rick.
game.
I knew his brother Rick, you know. Travel with him on many an occasion.
They stand worth 82 at the moment, and it's threatening to give Derbyshire a good score to defend.
Sure. Hadarali just works him. That's 184 at the end of the 31st over. 19 remaining in this innings. Derbyshire are motoring along very nicely.
Yeah, they're almost at 6. Very, very close to 6 and over, and it will be Van Meekeren. I think that was telegraphed after that last over from Ollie Price, which was expensive. So James Bracey goes back to one of his quicker bowlers. And just to explain that Shaw and Shaw line, Prithvi Shaw's the Indian batsman whose Northants have just signed to play in this competition, and their first game is here on Friday. So Van Meekeren to return from the Chapel End to Haider Ali, who chops that on the bounce to Tector. Good stop.
He's a good fielder, Tector, isn't he?
Yeah.
We like the look of him.
I don't know what that tablet was that was brought out for him. A tablet with a bottle of water to take it with. I mean, a painkiller or something. That's what you assume. Wouldn't think it would be a hay fever tablet. Van Meekeren 2 for 28 in his first 5 overs. To Haider Ali, who's again played that little chop shot. Square on the offside, down to Zafika Hart in front of the red roofed mark, if you have to think, a red roofed marquee. Marquees of various colours. That's Jack Taylor's voice you can hear, with some encouragement for the Gloucester team in the field. Derbyshire could be up around 200 with 15 overs to go here. And this thick outside edge, or thick edge from the outside half of the bat from Guest down to from Haider Ali, from Guest down to third man, as you were. So these two have rebalanced the innings a bit, and the scoring between them has rebalanced a bit as well, because Guest started very slowly. He still had fractionally more of the strike, but he's not far behind Ali now. Van Meekeren bounces in once more, and he bounces Ali, and he's got a thick edge to top edge it for 4, and that will bring up his 50 with a very curious shot.
He looked like he was pulling out of that, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, but it is 50 to Haider Ali. 41 balls, 5 4s and 2 6s.
It's an interesting shot. Batted very well though. His 9th 50 in 50 over cricket outside of the international arena. So floated up, if Van Meekeren can float a ball up, and Haider Ali read it. But that was the off break, I think, judging by the batsman's signal. Van Meekeren would be, could I say, the closest to Benny Howell in terms of the number of varieties of ball he's got. I would suggest he's in Howell's class. That is short, picked up, and one bounce to Jack Taylor at deep square from Haider Ali. And I'm just going to be on air talking to Dumbleton Dan that, you know, if the ball comes in here and is heading towards all these monitors, it's your job to field it before it gets here and smashes into Ian Randall's laptop.
that Wouldn't be good news. So Zafar still being held back here, and Zaman Akhtar is coming back into the attack at the College Lawn end. 191 for 3. 18 overs to go. Their target, I wonder if they're thinking about where they, I'm sure these two are trying to think, right, where are we going to be at 35, 40 and 45? They could be getting close to 300 by 45 if these two stay in.
Yeah, here's Akhtar. Chopped away, Tector, Fields. He's sharp in that position, isn't he, Tector?
I wonder if he's called Hector by anybody. He probably is.
Or Phil Spector.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. he wrote a few songs, didn't he?
Did he write a few? Yeah. It's just gone round the corner there. One mistimed pull, but he's going to get one for him.
Got a bit excited by that one. He's just starting to try and ramp this up a bit.
He'll be coming to Bristol with Ireland, won't he? When's that? The end of September, is it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I want to say the 27th?
26th of September.
26th.
I think it is. Akhtar full.
It's a good stop.
It's a good stop by Ajit Singh Dale. It's a nice shot there from Brooke Guest. So we've got New Zealand coming at the end of August.
Bank holiday Sunday at the end of
Yeah,
August.
26th is that?
27th.
27th of August. And then Ireland, I think, on the 26th of September. Tickets are available on the Gloucester CCC website. That's all gone over the top of Ajit Singh Dale. Smashes into the boundary boards for 4. Had a rally. Looks in the mood here, doesn't he?
Yes, he's got a bit excited by one or two deliveries, but he's timed some of his boundaries really well.
Played out to Ajit Singh Dale. That's a single. One more ball in the over. Keep your emails coming into us. Commentators at glossccc.co.uk.
Doesn't feel like a Tuesday today, does it?
No, it doesn't. It sort of feels like a Sunday, doesn't it, I think? That's edged and runs down that hill. Despite a great effort there from Paul van Meekeren, ball dribbles over the boundary rope for 4, but that's a 200 up for Derbyshire. Brooke Guest riding his luck there.
200 up.
33 overs.
Yeah. And the 100 partnership as well.
Yeah, so keep your emails coming into us. Send the difficult ones. Not to Ian Randall this time, but to Dumbleton Dan. He'll answer them all for you.
Well, James Bracey, I think, has got one or two things just to square in his head at the moment, tactically. Meekeren in. Hayes defends. So Ajit's got 3 overs left. Shaw has got 4. Van Meekeren will have 3 after this. Zafar has got 4 available. So Manakta's got 5 available. Ollie Price has bowled 3 quite expensive ones. May not be seen again, I would think. But he's got to find a break. And I think Zafar's return may not be delayed much longer. Brisk from Van Meekeren. Derbyshire 3 down by the 19th over. Well, this has been a good partnership between these two. They've doubled the score, 101 to 202. And now, if one of them can stick around for most of the rest of the innings, they'll have a big score to defend. Ooh, sharp single from Haider Ali up to Ben Charlesworth at mid-off, but a slight fumble from Charlesworth made it easier for him to make his ground.
You got emails, Ian?
I can do emails, Dan, if you wish.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here we are. A whole raft of them, which we'll try and work through during the next few overs. We've got the seamers on. Tom Wade has been in touch. and Meeker it in. That's cracked away through the offside by Guess. He's not actually timed that as well as he might. And Zaffar's throw is on its way, and a hit might have had Haider Ali struggling.
He was in trouble there.
Didn't hit at the bowler's end, and then he's back for 2. Tom says, I'm being biased, not honest. Our stream is the best, not only for the commentary, but also the fun and interaction we have. Oh, thank you. I've watched many streams now, and the best include my granddad's team, Notts, along with Yorkshire, Lancashire, Warwickshire, simply just based on the production levels. There's a few poor ones, we don't need to run them down. I firmly believe that the YouTube model is a saving grace for our county game, he says.
I agree with you there.
Pulled away, and straight to Ollie Price, and Guest holds out. Van Meekeren has another wicket. He's been the go-to bowler for wickets at this festival. Guest can't believe he's holed out there, but another Derbyshire batsman gets into the 40s and departs, and Gloucestershire will be very grateful of that wicket. A century partnership for the 4th wicket finally broken, and Derbyshire 205 for 4. And Anuj Dal is coming out at number 6.
From Ian Randall to Anuj Dal.
Just going to complete Tom's email. The YouTube model is free, easily accessible, and high quality. What more could you ask for?
I've just written a piece in the Cricketer last month, Tom, and I don't know if anyone had a chance to have a read of it, but I still feel that, well, there were 27 million clicks last year on YouTube. That's not people who watch, so say if you click on it, watch it for 10 seconds, go off and do something else, then click on it again, that would count as 2 clicks. But it's seriously impressive numbers. I think it's also then attracting people to the game. I think also the sales of merchandise in a number of counties are up due to streaming as well. And I think not only what we're doing here, but also what the BBC are doing as well is county cricket's renaissance.
So Anuj Dal in at number 6. Van Meekeren has 3 for 38. And this is the last ball of his 7th over, and Dahl gets away straight away with a bit of a scuffed shot into the leg side. He'll pick up 1, but success, an important success as well for Gloucestershire in that over. And just to prove why the stream is valuable, here's Philip Anderson. I'm presently sitting in the shade of a cafe in central Athens, sipping fresh orange juice while watching the stream from Cheltenham. It's trying to transform my viewing of the Shire, he says, as I live in London and regularly come to Greece to stay with my in-laws. I try to see the occasional live game, but that is normally all I could expect over a season, a day or two. Streaming has transformed that, and I agree with you about the signing of Harry Tector, he goes on. I saw him in action for the Ireland Test team and was very impressed.
Zaman Akhtar is coming in to bowl from the college lawn in. Thanks. Who's that? Philip.
Philip.
Yeah, go and enjoy your lunch. Have a nice heroes for lunch. Out in Athens, and it was just defended there by Anuj Dal.
And a long email from Paul, which I'll try and get to probably if Van Meekeren is bowling the next over. It is about streaming as well.
And the Lancashire game's at Sedbergh, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My apologies for saying it was at Old
That's
Trafford.
all right. Well, it's not even in Lancashire, is it? It's in Cumbria, isn't it? It's in Yorkshire. It's right on the border of where all three meet, isn't it? Just run off the face down to third there by Dull.
I think on the old boundaries it's in Cumbria, technically.
Was it Cumberland back in the day?
Would have
Or
been.
Westmoreland
Yeah.
back in your day? No, Westmoreland's like further, like Barrow, isn't it? That area, I think, wasn't it? Was it?
Yes.
Good bouncer, goes over Bracey's head. Going to get 4 runs, but
He's
that was
played
well
that
bowled.
shot twice now, Haider Ali.
Off the gloves.
Yeah, won a little scoop. That was a genuine top edge.
Thanks for the kind words anyway, guys, about the stream.
Well, there's more.
Ooh,
There's more.
ooh. Means a lot to us. 1, 2, Ali. You know, we take this seriously. It's behind this jokey facade. We do take it quite seriously, don't we, Ian?
We do.
And
Um,
a lot of research goes in and a lot of work goes in, not only by us but by the club, a lot of investment from the club, a lot of work from James Healy as well. So there's a lot of people all pulling together to make this happen. Actor, oh, nearly a single. He's in trouble here. Oh, a direct hit from Charlesworth, I think.
there's been some Sunday second 11 running there.
You think that good? Darlan had a rally. Oh, could have run 3 there. Had a rally just leaning on his bat, non-striker's end. That's in the air. Out. Caught there by Josh Shaw. The short ball works. And Anuj Dal has to go.
And it's a first 50 over wicket for Zaman Akhtar. Derbyshire will be relieved it's not Haider Ali, but it's still somebody who could have potentially accelerated the scoring rate. And say that's Akhtar's first 50 over wicket.
And the child caught by Shaw for going goes down after. His first 50 over wicket for 2.
I've just been informed that during the interval between the innings, we're going to have to restart the stream here due to one or two technical difficulties. So you might need a different link for the second innings. Well, you will definitely need a different link for the second innings. So yeah, if you bookmarked it when you were at work and you're pretending to your boss that you're beavering away in the office and really you're watching Gloucestershire or Derbyshire, then you might need a different link this afternoon when your boss goes out for a long pub lunch.
Now, Haider Ali's just getting a little bit of treatment from the Derbyshire physio here, which will allow me to read Paul's email.
Yeah, go for it, go on.
And he said, for me, the live streaming takes me back to my first cricket love, which was the county scene. It's been a marvellous boost to the domestic game. Before that, I could look players up in the Cricketers' Who's Who book, could rarely ever I'd seen them play. It's a long trek from where I live in Lancaster most of the time to Old Trafford, to my nearest ground to watch county cricket. I have all the county streams bookmarked, so to speak, but I'm still attracted to the likes of Gloucestershire, Derbyshire, Leicestershire and Northants more than the Division 1 high flyers. This probably links back to my childhood when I was when I was always glued to the Sunday League on BBC Two at places like Darleydale, Hinckley, Morton-in-Marsh or Tring, which were a world away from the terraced house in Burnley, where of course the aforementioned counties where I lived. The aforementioned counties weren't always in the lower reaches, far from it. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Paul. I know that, say, if you're in Lancaster or north of Lancaster, we've got somebody in Athens logging in. It just shows the spread of people watching county cricket.
Yeah, I played at Tring.
You've played at Tring?
Played at Tring, yeah. Got a guy out caught behind there who was on 116 in the Sunday friendly and didn't walk.
Not that he's bitter.
Not that I'm bitter, it was only
Here's
in 1990.
Zafar back into the attack, but this time from the chapel end. So Paul van Meekeren has overs in the bank, so to speak, for later on.
And Darley Dale, I believe that was Mike Hendrick's neck of the woods, wasn't it?
Zafar in, and Haider Ali sweeps, but doesn't get much on it. And Zafar might be the break here.
Yeah, I think Mike Hendrick was from Darley Dale. Wonderful bowler, wasn't he, Hendrick?
Zafar in, forced off the back foot by Haider Ali. He'll want more than one, but he'll only get one. Smart return from out there at long on. Ronnie Price, I think, is out there. And now Tom Wood in at number 7 and protecting the bowlers. So again, Derbyshire got to be a little bit careful here, and Gloucestershire might find they can maybe squeeze 4 or 5 overs with not much damage. Derbyshire don't want to get to a situation to get bowled out. Wood will get 1 out to deep point. Tom Smith's on the field again.
Drop us a line if you're listening from Derbyshire as well. We love to hear from the away fans. If you're munching your Bakewell tart while having your Blue John jewellery.
Zafar in again to Haider Ali. He'll want 1 just tucked off his legs around the corner to Ajit Singh Dale.
Maybe before taking the kids to the Heights of Abraham tourist attraction, drop us an email. Ever been on the Heights of Abraham, Ian?
No.
It's a cable car, I think, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
I think it's, is it Matlock?
Ah, okay. That's a part of the Peak District I've not been to.
Nice part of the world. Some lovely places in the Peak District, aren't there? Castleton, or Castleton.
So,
what's the stately home up there? Castle Howard, is that there, or is that
that's
Yorkshire?
further north.
That further north. What's the stately home? Actar, that's well bowled.
Chatsworth.
Chatsworth House, that's it. That's the one I'm looking for, Ian.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful part of the world, it really is. Queen's Park, Chesterfield as well, that's what a lovely venue. Sachin Tendulkar said that's one of his favourite grounds in the world. It's got like the bandstand there.
I don't think he's ever been to Cheltenham, that's the problem.
Well, no. But Chesterfield's beautiful in its own right, it's lovely. Just one there. The crooked spire poking out between the trees.
Just as we see the spire of St Luke's here. It's not crooked.
It's not crooked. I want a crooked spire. If I'm going to have a spire, I want a crooked spire. Why is it crooked?
Why?
Yeah, was there like a bit of subsidence there, or was it built that way, or has it sort of just gone that way over the years? Defended there by Tom Wood. Yeah, I don't know why it is crooked. Terry Blake telling us they use the same architect and built the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
So, the reason
he's having me on there. He's having me on.
The reason that's come up, this is on the first, he says this is not an exhaustive search.
Full from Akdal, well fielded off his own bowling.
It is not crooked but twisted and leaning. Historians have suggested a number of factors, including the use of unseasoned wood and the later use of heavy lead sheeting in the 17th century. Many have disagreed with this as the real reason, so we don't know.
Can someone from Derbyshire let us
I
know?
wasn't alive at the time, despite Dan might make you think I was.
It's good bowling from Actor. Just 1 off 5 balls so far in the over.
Gloucestershire will be happy, I think, to bowl to Wood at the moment. I mean, he has got a couple of big white ball scores. I say he got 100 in a T20 match against Leicestershire earlier this season, and he does have a century in this competition, but he's got to get started first, and he hasn't looked comfortable doing that just at the moment.
That's gone through. That's a really good over at this stage. Derbyshire obviously play most of their grounds at the county ground, which was the old race course, wasn't it? The old changing rooms where the jockeys used to get changed. I think that building's been pulled down now, and it's been changed a lot in recent years at Derby, hasn't it? There's a hotel that's gone up. It was much maligned on the county circuit, but they've done a hell of a lot of work there, and I always like the people in that neck of the woods.
Andrew Wise on email says, luckily the Derbyshire batsmen are profligate when they get well set, otherwise it could be 370 or 380. Enjoying the coverage, watching from Sunbury-on-Thames. Best regards.
Toby Rowland Jones' neck of the world.
And Reese on the email. We'll get to that little two-liner if we can during this over. Zaffer from the Chapel End has kept the Derbyshire batsman in check. He's 1 for 21 in his 8th over. Reece says he's coming to the ground on Friday for the match, but watch nearly every other game on the stream. Haider Ali will get a single here. Zaffer's got to do his own fielding. Out on the leg side, he'll get him down to 1. He says, are the streams profitable? Why aren't the counties using them for advertising?
No.
Or enabling YouTube ads like some other counties do?
Where do we go with this one?
Well, the simple answer is, profitable, I think the answer to that is no. It's more as a service. That's how I see it. I'm sure that's how the club would say it as well.
Yeah, I think also with advertising, it depends whether you've got your BBC commentators giving the feed, or, as we do here at Gloucestershire, having your club's own commentary team.
Zaffer again to Wood. He gets that away, but only to the fielder down on the boundary at deep point, who is Van Meeken, who just pick up 1. 38th of the 50 overs. Gloucestershire whistling through them. They're going to be well inside the allotted time. Cut away by Haider Ali, and all a partial fumble by Tector, but there were 2 men covering that shot, he and Charlesworth, and Charlesworth did the clearing up. Zaffer in quite warm sunshine when the sun is out.
Yeah.
It's very pleasant.
Here at the Costa del Cheltenham.
12 overs to go. 219 for 5. Could still be anything from here. Could still be 260 all out, or it could be 290. Harry Clement's analysis predicts 288.
It could be Rotterdam, Liverpool or Rome.
I wish I knew where Dan's train of thought was going with that.
Song by the Beautiful South.
Right. Still Zaman to continue.
Oh, that's been creamed straight back past him. 4 runs.
We haven't seen many of those today.
No. Had a rally. Straight out the middle.
foot movement, just get the front foot out of the way and swing through the line. Four batsmen to come for Derbyshire: Alex Thompson, Mark Watt, Sam Connors and Nick Potts.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of Potts at all.
Hasn't played him. He's only 21, Dan.
Yeah.
He's not played much in this competition, so
No.
I think you, even an enthusiast like you, could be justified.
That's
with that.
been smashed for 6. Oh, and a drop catch by the gentleman in the crowd. He's gonna have to go off for a bit of fielding practice, that guy. Poor effort. Poor effort.
Hayder Ali to 80.
Dumbleton Dan wouldn't be like that when it's coming for your laptop, Ian. He's throw his body in the way.
We'll just see the seamers largely bowling the overs, other than Zafar's 2 for the rest of the innings. I'm not sure Ollie Price is likely to come back at this point.
I think Van Meekeren with his 3 wickets so far, or
had a 5 last year, which I think was at Hove from memory.
Paul.
Yeah, you got a 5 in the competition last year.
I don't remember that. Remember them chasing a big target at Durham on a blazing hot day. Josh Shaw is resplendent in his bucket hat. Can't remember what they chased. It was a lot, I remember. That's in the air, and that's gone. Ali goes.
Ben Charlesworth with the catch.
Caught by Ben Charlesworth. And he departs for a very fine 82 off just 65 balls.
Key wicket that for me, because I'm not sure what support the lower order can give Tom Wood. Wood's now got to try and put back to ball, which he's proved in the T20 he can, but they've also got to think 6 wickets down, more than 10 overs left. They've got to bat through.
Yeah, certainly have.
It's a good knock, but it may not be a match-winning one.
Well, time will tell. Time will tell. Zaman Akhtar deserves that. I think he's bowled really well. He got collared a little bit at the beginning. First 3 balls of the over went for 12 as well. And I think he's bounced back really well. I like him a lot. I like him a lot as a cricketer. I like him a lot as an individual. And it's great to see him making his mark in this tournament. 231 for 6.
And the very tall figure of Alex Thompson comes out at number 8. We'll see him bowling his off breaks later.
They're sort of like a pyjama blue, aren't they, the Derbyshire kit?
If you want to call it that.
I had a pair of pyjamas when I was about 7 years old that were the same colour as that.
It's kind of
I think it had a tiger across the front.
Akhtar 2 for 53.
2 balls left in the over. Zaman Akhtar. That's hit. Thompson high up on the side pad. Dribbles out to Tekta.
Of course, the defending champions in this competition are Kent. They're 151 for 4 at Scarborough against Yorkshire. In Group B, Middlesex 238 for 4 in the 42nd over against Hampshire.
I think the beauty of this competition...
Sorry, Dan.
Sorry, go on.
Chester Street, Worcestershire 248 for 5.
Past the outside edge.
Against Durham.
I think the beauty of this competition is that the less fashionable counties of, which who's playing out here today are capable of winning it. We saw Glamorgan win it a couple of years ago, didn't we? And the big boys will lose their stars to the 100. So I think and also from a fan's point of view as well, I think it's great because it gives you a full day. You can see both sides bat, bowl, and it's not just the, razzmatazz of T20 cricket. It's actually, proper cricket, proper one-day cricket.
And it is possible to recover an innings from a bad start. That's
the T20's not proper cricket, by the way.
That's the scenario I think some fans like about it.
Yeah.
So Wood to face Zafar Gahar, his 9th over from the Chapel end. And Bracey asks about the stumping. The umpire Mark Newell says no. And they have started at said, but Lancashire 40 for 1.
Maybe Bracey needs to swap the bails around like Stuart Broad did.
Zafar 1 for 24 at the moment.
That's amazing, isn't it?
That's miserly.
But what Stuart Broad did, swapping the bails around, and a wicket goes, and ball after, and doing it twice in the game with Labuschagne and
Wood. Again, she's that back to Zafar.
Was it Todd Murphy he did it to yesterday, I think? But, Paul Daniels hasn't got magic tricks like that, Ian.
Broad gave his scriptwriter a good brief, didn't he?
Yeah.
Zafar, that's tossed right up. Wood didn't fancy attacking that. Evidence that perhaps he's rather the ball be coming onto the bat here, Tom Wood. Are they just trying to see Zafar off? He knows he's only got 1 over left after this one. And he's basically just played that through. It's another maidens. Zafar's bowled 9 overs, 3 maidens, 1 for 24.
That's amazing.
Which is thunderously good figures.
Yeah. On a wicket which is small ground wicket which is batter friendly as well. So credit to Zafar.
So he's got 1 left, and we're at 40 overs. So now an extra fielder can go out for Gloucestershire into the outfield. They can have 5 out, and they probably will for these last 10 overs. So Ajit's got 3 overs left at the moment.
Big 10 overs that for Gloucestershire after 30. 177 for 3 after 40, 231 for 6. So they went at 6 and over. 3 key wickets there, which probably put the brake on the visitors slightly. Here's Ajit. Runs down off the face, runs down to Josh Shaw at 3rd.
And there was every evidence from Wood, and we may see this now in the last 10 overs, and I don't know whether that over in isolation might influence James Bracey. Would he think about bowling Ollie Price if Wood is on strike at the start of an over, but if he's uncomfortable playing the spinner, or less comfortable playing the spinner?
It's a moot point.
Let's see how he really goes hard at the seamers. Clive catch it. There was never a catch there.
No.
We'll remind you that analyst Harry's, that must be the programme with all the data that he feeds into it, suggested that 288 might be where Derbyshire end up. Gloucestershire might take that.
I think they're taking that. Here's Ajit. attacking the crease. Thompson. He is a big lad, isn't he, Thompson?
Yeah. Yes,
Ex-PE teacher. Went to Cardiff. Started playing first-class cricket, actually, for Cardiff Uni MCCU. Then gave that up to go and give a county cricket career a go at Warwickshire. I think I would as well. Rather be a first-class cricketer than teach kids, wouldn't you? Driven. Charlesworth has a little shy at the stumps. Tom Wood. He's from, do you say this Hena or Henna?
Hena.
Hena in Derbyshire. Then he was released by the county after his debut. He made his debut back in 2016. Was released and then got re-signed a few years later, and then got a 55-ball 100 against Nottinghamshire. I think he had a little ban as well for use of an asthma inhaler, which was prohibited.
Just if you've joined us partway through the stream today, should tell you what the Gloucestershire side is that will bat later. Dent, Charlesworth, Ollie Price, Harry Tector, Bracey, Jack Taylor, Zafar Gahar, Josh Shaw, Akhtar, Ajit Singh Dale and Paul Van Meekeren. That's what you think the batting order will be. Harry Tector at 4. Kind of a direct swap for Miles Hammond. Of course, he's away with that other competition.
That's just into the midriff there of Thompson. That's a good over at this stage of the game. 233 for 6. Thompson's on 1. Wood's on 3. Ajit Singh Dale recovered slightly. He's none for 46 off 8. Zafar, none for 24 off 9.
They've got stuck, Derbyshire.
They have a little.
A bit like a car that's gone into a car park at a country show and you've had a deluge of rain.
Yeah, Tom Wood got a 6-month ban, which was retrospective actually.
Here is Wood. Zafar to start his last over. I think whatever happens here, he's going to get a big round of applause at the end of it. Wood, again, just steers that straight to Tector at backward point. Only dot ball. Ajit's got 2 overs left, if used. Zafar, again, Wood can't get him away. It's just simple disciplines here from Zafar. He's not trying any great variation. Trying to just drop it on a sixpence, and Wood might get one here. Well fielded, Josh Shaw. Well fielded. He tried to field it and flick it towards the stumps at the bowler's end in one motion. Just wasn't enough push on the ball once he actually got it out of his hand. But 1 run, and Thompson now to face Zafar for the first time. Singdale saying, does Zafar want him to come up 10 yards, maybe inside to the edge of the circle? He's staying back.
We've had an email and I'm all over this, and I'm going to come on to it at the end of the over. We've had 2 emails which I'll come on to. And
here is Zafar in a little flick round the corner from Thompson. He might get 4 for that. It's going to run all the way away from Charlesworth and into the rope, onto the rope at the College Lawn end. 238 for 6.
Paul Spencer. I rather sadly rewatched an episode of Shoestring recently with late 70s ladies' favourite Trevor Eve as the aforementioned Private Eye, who had his own show on Radio West. He was actually a private ear, Paul, because he had his own radio show. That's how he described himself.
Ajit appealing from deep backward square for an LBW.
He's saying, am I right in thinking it was all filmed around Bristol? It was all filmed around Clifton. That's where he lived with his landlady.
want more than one off that, but they won't get it. And Zafar has finished with 1 for 30 from 10 overs. And it's not the one so much, it's the 30 runs conceded off a full stint. It's a good effort. And 8 overs remain. Derbyshire 239 for 6. They're in the game at this point, but they are getting bogged down at the wrong time as far as they're concerned.
They are a little, yeah. He's saying, am I right in thinking he was all filmed around Bristol? I think so. Not sure Eddie got to the county ground in his role, though. If he had, that would have been the Jim Fote, Andy Stoffel, Brian Brain. Fine bowler and name, very spidery. And, of course, the great Proctor era. Well, Shoestring was absolutely superb. I think it was one of the best things on TV.
Sunday evening, wasn't it?
Sunday evening. I think it only ended due to Trevor Reeve wanting to actually go and do something serious like Shakespeare on stage. And it was replaced by Bergerac, who had a lot of similar issues. I think that's one played into the offside. Oh, Charlesworth almost threw that. Where did that go?
It's gone to Tector, inadvertently.
Yeah, he... Bergerac, I think it was written by the same people, because he also had a load of issues, didn't he? In the same way. And Eddie Shoestring obviously used to get his suits from Mr. Byright, as did Ian Randall, round that sort of same era. So Paul, great email. Paul Spencer there, superb email. Oh, slower ball bouncer, and he's got away with that.
Not spotted by Wood at all.
Eric says hello from Chesterfield, enjoying your comms on the YouTube channel. Regarding the crooked spire, local legend, is the spire twisted when the first virgin was married there, and will straighten again the next time it happens. Eric, brilliant. Oh, that's well bowled by Ajit Singh Dale.
Wood has made 4 off 21 balls, and I don't think I've seen somebody at number 7 look as out of nick as him for quite a while.
Wait and see what happens.
Just doesn't look in any kind of touch.
So I'm still laughing from Eric's email. Here's a cheat. Bunted out to mid-on. Akhtar does the fielding.
I was going to ask Harry whether his predictor has gone down from 288 281.
281. Cleve Hill bathed in sunshine. Ian Randall's 30 acres up there. Played into the offside. Tector! Oh, that was close. Great bit of fielding. He looks a good fielder, doesn't he?
Yeah, so Zafar's bowled out now, so there will be 7 overs to bowl from that end of the ground.
40 off 7 doesn't seem that many to me. I think they might get more than that. A G, good Yorker. He's going to squeeze that out. It's going to go for 4. Great Yorker though. He's unlucky there. Let's have another look at this. Is it an inside edge or does he get it around the pad? Yeah, he squeezed that one out. It's between the legs actually.
Yeah, so 7 overs to go. So 4 from that end, 4 from the chapel end, and 3 from the College Lawn end. I wonder if Van Meeken's got 4 to bowl, so got 3 to bowl as you were. So I wonder if James Bracey might just have to fiddle 1 over somewhere. He's got Shaw and Ajit, who could finish off at the opposite end if he wanted to. Ajit's got, Zamanak's got a couple left if necessary. So Van Meekeren to the tall figure of Thompson. And Derbyshire. Not exactly crawling along, but they're not accelerating as they would want to at this point. Van Meekeren to Thompson. Start of the 44th, and again he's inside the line there. This has been dragged back, I think, by Gloucestershire, Dan, don't you?
Very much so, Ian. Very much so.
And
James Bracey and his troops need a lot of credit here.
Haider Ali's wicket, the big one.
Was key. Yeah, it was key. And Meekeren's been good. Zafar's been good. Zaman Akhtar has been good.
These two have only added 15 so far.
Ajit's been good.
Van Meekeren. Thompson, you might get one for that, but only up to Dent at mid-on. Now then, I wonder if... I think it's got to the stage, if Woods... If he's not going to add very much, he needs to either give the strike to Thompson if he thinks Thompson can, or allow somebody else to come in who can. What Connors and Potts to come, and I'm not sure there is much there. And he's gone for a scoop. Has
got too much
Wood.
bat on it.
He's got it way over James Bracey, high in the air, but so high that
No ball.
It's a no ball as well.
Is that for overhead height? No free hit.
So
'Cause it's for overhead height. Free hit's only on a front footer, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
Derbyshire 250 up. So Thompson, who would have been better placed with his height to cope with the short nature of that ball, clips that into the onside, and Jack Taylor fields only be one. Looking down the boundaries. So Dahl, Wood and Thompson, between them, have faced 43 balls and only hit 2 fours.
And one of them was an inside edge between the legs in the last over from Ajit.
Contrast to the top order. Wood again, almost undone by a really full one from Van Meekeren.
The other one was down the ground. That was a good shot.
Just did enough to keep this out.
Yeah, he's bowling a nice mixture here, Paul Van Meekeren, of slower ball bouncers, quick bouncers, Yorkers, using all his experience of international cricket here.
Two balls left in his 8th over. Worked away by Wood this time, but again only get one. Down to Zafar on the boundary in front of that red marquee. We've got the AC, is it AC Milan, the red and black?
Yeah, or Bournemouth.
Oh, Bournemouth, yeah, you could have Bournemouth for that. Yeah, the almost the sandy coloured ones which predominate around the ground. There is a black one apart from the red one, and then the...
That was that Arsenal away kit a few years ago. Remember that sort of gold?
What they call the Chelsea blue, which is behind the scoreboard. Van Meekeren in short, and again, this time Thompson can't lay bat on it. We've had 44 overs, 6 to go, 252 for 6, and they've only scored 21 in the last 4 overs, Derbyshire, which towards the end of an innings is akin to first gear, pretty much.
Yeah, you'd want to You want to have your foot a little bit more firmly on the accelerator pedal. Rolls-Royce are made in Derby, aren't they? They're Derby. They've made cars there, or is it just trains they make there now? You know these things, Ian.
So that's a great question.
Yeah.
If you know, because I'm not sure.
I know Rolls-Royce are based in Derby, but I think
Yeah.
it might be aeroplane engines and trains they make there.
A change. Josh Shaw returning from the College Lawn end. So he's got 3 overs left. So he could bowl out from that end, potentially.
He's got 4 overs there. Sure.
He's got 4, correction, but
Yeah.
there are only 3
Yep.
necessary.
Here he comes. That's been smashed away to mid-wicket, but there's a fielder out there, keeps them down to 1.
Earlier in the innings, Derbyshire got a good start. 71 by the first wicket between Kame, who made 40, and Lewis Rees went on to make 50. And then the glue in the middle of the innings, a century partnership between Haider Ali and Brooke Guest made 43, and Ali eventually out for 82. That was a key wicket in the 39th over. And since then, Gloucestershire have just squeezed the scoreboard.
Yeah, certainly have. Either way, backwards square, no real timing on it, but he's going to get a single. Gloucestershire would take 6 and over at this stage, wouldn't they?
Yes, getting to 290. Yeah.
Saying that, it's a run rate of nearly 6. Derbyshire might be pleased with this, though, as well.
I mean, they'd be in the game. They'd be in the game at 290.
Played into the covers, Charlesworth Fields, they scamper through for 1.
Key thing is about pacing a chase, isn't it? That's always the thing that experienced cricket watchers go on about. And Gloucestershire paced a couple really well at Bristol last year. The win over Notts was well paced, in particular in this competition.
Win over Middlesex at Radler was well paced as well. That's well bowled. Josh Shaw fires in the Yorker. The win at Middlesex was really good. Ben Charlesworth got an excellent 97. Look at this again from Josh Shaw. You can't hear that. Certainly can't hear that. You know, cricket's moved on and the game's evolved, but still, spearing in a Yorker is still... Oh, it's bowled him. Deserved that, Josh Shaw. Thompson goes for a big shot, and Josh Shaw. The old adage of line and length.
Did the damage to the previous ball, I guess.
Yeah, he did. And Thompson's got to try and force the pace. So, Josh Shaw keeping it nice and tidy. 255 for 7. Mark Watt, the distinctive figure, he's coming out to bat here, left-hander.
Incoming batter, squad number 51, Mark Watt.
Scotland international.
Yeah, he was very good in that game against England, wasn't he? Scotland beat England, didn't they? At the Grange. Mark Watt played in that, took 3 wickets in that. He's ex-Lancashire, now at Derbyshire. 61 one-day internationals for as Jimmy Greaves used to call them, the sweaty socks. Didn't they? Do you remember?
I think if we had £1 for every spectator who'd look round the front of the marquee
We'd be rich.
looking for somebody or something, or
Yeah.
perhaps the I wonder what's happening in there question.
Yeah. What I also like is people who attempt to have a conversation with us when we're live on air. Josh Shaw in. He's gone round the wicket to Watt, who plays that one off his hips. Weight of shot, thought he might get 2 perhaps. Bit untidy from Bracey's the one who runs round and defends it. And that completes the over. So 5 overs left to go. Derbyshire 256 for 7. Watt is 1 off 1 ball. Tom Wood 13 off 28. Josh Shaw 1 for 45 off 7. Paul van Meekeren, he's been the leading wicket taker here with 3 for 45. But Zafar Gahar has been the pick of the bowlers with 1 for 30 off his 10 overs with 3 priceless maidens in there.
Yeah, 3 maidens for a spinner in this format, unless it's a real Bunsen, which you don't normally get in this form of cricket, is top draw stuff. Okay, Harry just looked something up in a minute actually about Zafar's spell. How many boundaries did he concede? Can you tell us that?
I think we should have the analyst in with us at Bristol. We should have Harold, the analyst, in with us at Bristol. He's got there is
all sorts of information. So Watt waits for Van Meekeren and just literally lays the bat down on it. He's going to go for a sharp single, and he would have been run out because he wasn't running the bat in, and Harry Tector's just missed at the bowler's end. I think he'd have been at least a yard short. He's a burly figure. He's a Joe Leach type figure, isn't he? I think probably Joe Leach might.
I reckon Joe Leach might cower from Mark Watt.
I think Joe Leach might say that's unfair. On Joe Leach, that is.
I think Joe Leach might.
And Meekeren in and chopped away for 4. A blaster boundary for Wood. Has he been waiting for this? Only 2 boundaries off Zafar in his 10 overs. Remarkable. 261 for 7 of the 46th, Derbyshire. They've got something to bowl at here, but
they have.
Is it going to be enough? And Meekeren in. Wood tries to pull that, doesn't really get anything much on it. It dribbles out on the leg side. Only 8 extras in this inning, so we talk about discipline a lot. We've had 2 no balls.
That's not bad.
Both bowled by Van Meekeren.
That's very good.
3 wides and just 1 leg by.
Yeah, Dale Benkenstein will be pleased with that, as will Robbie Joseph, bowling coach here. Speak about disciplines and not giving away too many, and I think that's very, very good from Gloucestershire.
Short and what sways out of the way. He wasn't going to get involved in that. Just a reminder of a message that I think Dan relayed a few overs ago. There will be a different link after the first innings here. So if you want to rejoin us, please do. But there will be a different link, which we will put out on our social media channels, will we? It's on the Match Centre section of the website.
There you go.
So do rejoin us after the interval, but for technical reasons, that's got to happen. Van Meekeren, again, that's the slower ball, and Watt can only just keep it out.
Yeah, spearing it in here, Paul.
Derbyshire, they were 215 for 5 after 36 overs. And they could have really, at that point, with Haider Ali still in, looked at a really big score. Again, that's very short from Van Meekeren. That's going to be called a no ball. That's very high.
Yeah, you can't bowl there.
And again, not a free hit, because it was on height only, not for overstepping. Derbyshire fans might say that's negative bowling.
Well, it's one-day cricket bowling, isn't it? He's
Van Meekeren in again. That's chopped away by Watt. He'll get one. Hector stopped it, but it's come off his heel, and that's allowed them to come back for a second run. Was a bit scruffy in the field, unlike Harry Tector.
Yeah, he's a wonderful fielder.
266 for 7, 4 overs to go. So Shaw 1 for 45. So Ajit Singh Dale's 9 overs for 53. Van Meekeren 9 overs, 3 for 53. Zaman 8 overs, 2 for 53. James Healy is in heaven with figures like that.
He's in OCD heaven.
3 bowlers conceding the same number of runs off their respective overs.
Sure, that's been nailed. That's a lovely shot there from Tom Wood. Splits the gap there between Charlesworth, who's at extra cover, and Chris Dent at mid-off. Gloucestershire's openers. Oh, sick inside edge onto the pad. It's going to dribble away into the leg side. Wood wanted a second there. What?
Did not.
No. Don't think he'd have got that.
It's it's one day. As much as that 100 against Leicestershire was one day, but hard to see how Wood would make 100 in a T20 game on the evidence of what we've seen here. I suppose that is what one-day cricket can throw up sometimes.
Shaw coming around the wicket. That's in the air to mid-off. Couple of bounces before it reaches Zaman Akhtar.
It's got to try and shoulder the responsibility here. If he's the technically better batsman, he's got to show it.
That's been smashed down the ground. Akhtar is quick across the ground though and doesn't allow the second run to be completed.
So they've got third man, wide long leg,
273 for 7.
deep mid wicket. Jack Taylor just out in front of us to our left, and a deep point, so 4 out. I suspect a deep square as well that we can't see.
Shaw into Watt, who just plays that out for 1 out into the offside.
I think his view was he could see Watt batting away, so he just tried to push it as far as he dare outside off stump. Hence there was no power in the shot that Watt was able to just effectively nudge out on the offside.
I'm going to stay with you for 1 more over, Ian, and I'm going to make my way around to the marquee. Can we ensure that Dumbleton Dan completes my scorebook? I'm very particular about this.
It's a good shot. What's gambled there on
4 runs.
giving Wood the strike at the end of the over, and Wood has lofted Josh Shaw for 4, away over extra cover.
It was Watt. I thought it was over actually.
So it was.
Oh, it was Wood.
It was Wood.
It was Wood. Yeah.
So 3 overs left. And Van Meekeren can only bowl 1 from the chapel end. And this is it. Watt waits for him. Well, that's gone high in the air. Where's that gone? Is that going to go over the fielder and into the stand on the Sanford Road side of the ground?
That was huge.
That was a very, very high 6 from Mark Watt. It didn't go very far back, actually, but it went a long, long way up, and Ollie Price knew that he wasn't reaching it.
Went into the food kiosks behind those stands.
Watt to 12. Left-hander, he's got the short boundary there. So will he try and attack it again? He will, and it's gone straight up in the air, and it should be caught, and it's just dropped short of Ben Charlesworth. They're going to try and come back for 2, and I don't think he read the flight of that at all, Ben Charlesworth, because it looked to be one that would just drop comfortably for him, but he misjudged how far he needed to come in to reach it, and he ended up diving and not getting to it at all. And Wood has,
it was one of those.
If the word scampered is appropriate, he can scamper back for 2.
It was one of those sort of with backspin on it, wasn't it? Because it just plugged in the ground and just never quite got to Charlesworth.
300 still on for Derbyshire. Watt will nudge a single down to Josh Shaw. 287 for 7. They might just get there.
Yeah, I think they'll get 300, and I think they'll be pleased with that. 6 and over. It always takes some getting, no matter how quick an outfield, no matter how good a wicket it is. 6 and over is always an ask.
Wood's got 28. He's hung in there despite not really middling stuff, and that's clipped towards Saman Akhtar. Safe hands at steep square. Another wicket for Van Meekeren, his 4th, and Wood eventually does go for 28. He's almost got Derbyshire to 48 overs, and now it will be down to the tail to see what they can scramble off the remaining deliveries. But 4 fours for Wood.
4 for Van Meekeren.
And 4 wickets for Van Meekeren as well. And Sam Connors coming in at number 10.
So an actor just saying that he's overrun that, had to take it head height.
Van Meekeren has now got 4 for 64. Kind of very Paul Van Meekeren figures, if I may say.
Well, I think with his extra pace, he's always going to go for a little bit, but I think he does offer you something a little bit different. And he's had a fantastic Cheltenham. Only 16 wickets in 2 4-day games and a 50-over game. He's had a wonderful Cheltenham. Really has.
So Sam Connors has got 2 balls left in this over, and he's going to steer that just beyond the dive of Tector down to third man. They're going to the bowler's end with the throw, and Mark Watt's running to that end, and he has got back.
Right, I'm going to disappear. Ian Randall will take you through to lunch.
And Dan will be back with us afterwards. He's going to meet his fans again. The queue for autographs is half the way round the ground at lunch when he's on. So Van Meekeren, if it's not a no ball, will bowl his last ball to Sam Connors, and he's pulled it with no timing, just straight back down the pitch, and Van Meekeren fields off his own bowling. So he's finished with 4 for 66, Paul Van Meekeren. And there are 2 overs left. applause rather drowned out by the overhead traffic. So 2 overs left. Zaman Akhtar is going to bowl the one at the College Lawn end, which I suspect might mean that Josh Shaw will bowl the last one. 289 for 8. Can Gloucestershire wrap this up? Zaman Akhtar to Mark Watt, who just pushes that quietly out into the offside. He'll take one down to the boundary. Ollie Price is policing matters at deep cover. So Derbyshire put in, as history says that not many sides get 300 here in a list A game. Derbyshire still might not, but they're very close. And they won't get any more from Sam Connors. He's been bowled by Zaman Akhtar. And Akhtar might finish this if he can bowl another fast straight one. And that's gone through a big gate. Connors is not in the team for his batting. So
Connors bowled by Zaman Akhtar for 2.
So he's now got, that one's now got 3 wickets. And that means that Nick Potts is Derbyshire's last man.
Incoming batter, squad number 26, Nick Potts.
Only his 6th list A game, so fairly small sample size in terms of his batting, but I think we've probably got the message. If he's there at 11, I think his idea would be, can he just grab a single and give Mark Watt the bulk of these last 10 deliveries? Gloucestershire just feel a little bit better about life if they could bowl Derbyshire out. Just stop them batting the full 50 overs. Zaman Akhtar then. 2 Potts, who defends, and he always say he'll get a single. He might be run out. So Bell Charlesworth was, he was close enough to run him out at the bowler's end, and he missed the target. I think there was no doubt that Potts would have been out by 2 or 3 yards if Charlesworth had hit. But he was, I think, over and wide. And now the field will go back because Gloucester would be quite content to give Mark Watt a single here. And bowl at the tail ender. Watt will try and scamper 2 where he can, or perhaps go even further than that and go over the rope. Chris Dent is back at long on for the left-hander. Akhtar to bowl to Watt, and it's short. Watt can't lay a bat on that. As you can see, the run rate is absolutely bang on 6. Puts the bat into his front pad. What can he manufacture here? Someone to bowl to it. Squirts it up to mid-off where Josh Shaw is. He'll take 1. 2 balls left in the over. So Watt won't want to get stuck at the wrong end here. So he's just having a chat with Connors, presumably about, can he play tip and run, I wonder, effectively with the field set back. There's a single almost anywhere for him if he can lay bat on it. Someone looking for a 4th wicket. And he won't get it there. And now, at the end of his stint, he went bowled again. 3 for 56. from his 9 overs. And
finishing his spell, 9 overs, there remains 3 for 56.
And it will be, in fact, Ajit Singh Dale to bowl the last over from the Chapel end. Just briefly from scores from elsewhere ahead of the last over here. They finished at Chesley Street, Worcestershire 318 for 9. Kent, who started very slowly, 256 for 4 at Scarborough in the 47th over. Middlesex have finished against Hampshire 309 for 7, so scores pretty similar around the country. And at Sedbergh, Lancashire 104 for 3 against Essex. That game didn't start until 1 o'clock. That's in the 19th over. That Kent score, they are the holders, of course. 257 for 4. They were really struggling at the start, and they've been pulled round by Joey Everson with 127 and Ben Compton with 96, and both are still in. So that's the reason that they've managed to recover that position. Here, Derbyshire 292 for 9, 1 over left. Mark Watt on strike, which is as he would want it. And the field spread. Derbyshire wants 6 singles, they can have it in this over. From Gloucestershire's point of view, Van Meekeren's just going a bit finer at third man. So 3 inside the circle on the offside, only 1 on the leg side. Van Meekeren, Singdale around the wicket to Watt, and he's swished and missed a full one. Jack Taylor's away here on the boundary at deep point. Watt's got the shorter leg side boundary to attack here, so Ajit Singdale's coming round the wicket to when he's, I'm sure, trying to force him to play into the offside. He's stepped outside it, and he's missed that as well. Tried to help that on its way down to the boundary at long leg, and missed it. So Derbyshire at 36 overs were 215 for 5. So if I did 77 in the last 13 overs, which is, it's not terrible, but they might have expected more. Ajit around the wicket, very short, and Watt again can't lay a bat on it. So 3 dots at the start of this last over. That prediction programme that Harry Clements ran at the start of this Derbyshire innings, I think we went very far in when he said 288, so it's very close. So where they've ended up, what goes down the ground here, aerially, away over the infield and out to the fence, wide long off. He's eventually got one in the middle and picked up a boundary. It's a real swish that. He's gone to 21. Can they get to the psychological 300? 2 balls to go. Probably need another. I don't think they're going to run too many 2s here, so it'll be 4-6 or nothing. Slower ball from Ajit, and they want 2 here. Only going to get 1, I think, and sharp work from Ollie Price means that Nick Potts will face the last ball. This is a no ball or a wide. 297 for 9, 1 ball to go. Chap from Skipper Bracey to Ajit Singh Dale. I think when you're bowling to a number 11 of the last ball of an innings, it shouldn't really be too many questions. Potts hasn't faced Ajit Singh Dale in this innings yet, so it might be a debate on whether he even bothers to take guard. Ajit's coming back over the wicket. So last ball of the Derbyshire innings, very short, and they're going to run a bye, are they? They are. Off the last ball to get them to 298 for 9. Derbyshire have scored 42 off the last 5 overs, which I suppose, given they were down into the tail, has been a reasonable effort, and they've ended up with a score that means they're definitely in the game at 298 for 9. They've given Gloucestershire quite a bit to do to chase it, but they've got plenty of batting, and the full scorecard James Healy will put up on the board in front of you in just a moment. There it is. Good contributions at the top from both openers and from Guest in the middle order, but nobody, even Haider Ali, really went big, and Gloucestershire just nipped out a wicket when they wanted one. That century partnership between Haider Ali and Guest was the one that threatened to take the game Derbyshire's way. They still may win, of course, but Gloucestershire have come back with some steady wickets in the lower order, and of all the bowlers, Zafar Gahar with the best figures. He only took 1 wicket, but the economy rate, excellent. There are the bowling figures for you. A wicket to Josh Shaw, 4 for Van Meekeren, although quite expensively. 3 to Zaman Akhtar on his 50-over debut, and Zafar's figures standing out like a beacon there in the middle, 1 for 30. So we're off here at 2:25, so I think we'll be back on at 5 to 3, and therefore you can rejoin us for that. Don't forget, there will be a new link on the Match Centre on the website to go to for the second innings. We'll be back with you at 5 minutes to 3. Do join us then for the Gloucestershire chase of this 299 target.